Ball's premier tight end. And working with Chargers quarterback Dan Fouts, the big, fast Winslow is a weapon of awesome dimension. 2 weeks ago, Winslow was missing from the San Diego lineup, and the Chargers lost to Seattle. But last week against the Houston Oilers, Winslow was everywhere. Often drawing double coverage, Winslow nevertheless caught 10 passes for 146 yards. And for Dan Fouts, last Sunday's game was yet another 300-yard effort. His production over 12 years is well documented in both the Chargers and NFL record books. While Winslow is a major target for Fouts, the Chargers can burn you with many of the NFL's top receivers. There's veteran Charlie Joyner. And then there's this man, the swift, acrobatic Wes Chandler. But tonight the Chargers meet the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Raiders, led by quarterback Jim Plunkett. Plunkett and the Raiders have defeated the Chargers in 4 straight no-love-lost meetings. The Raiders have a ferocious defense. They also have their own talented core of receivers, including the NFL's leading receiver of a year ago, Todd Christensen. But when Plunkett wants the big play, he still looks to the veteran Cliff Branch, who has been doing his record-breaking thing for 13 years. Yes, the Raiders remain a big play team. Then there's Marcus Allen, the Super Bowl MVP from last January, who set a rushing record of 191 yards as the Raiders took a one-sided victory over that, who will, on occasion, become a very effective passer. All the ingredients for a super matchup are here, and you'll see it live, the San Diego Chargers and the Los Angeles Raiders. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, and so many memories from this past summer's 23rd Olympiad. And tonight, this venerable stadium will be the site for another meeting between the San Diego Chargers and the Los Angeles Raiders, 2 longtime rivals in the AFC West. It's a late arriving crowd, and if you know about Southern California freeways, you understand because it's 6 o'clock in the evening here in Los Angeles. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Chevrolet. Don Meredith and O.J. Simpson, looking forward to what should be an exciting matchup of these 2 teams, looking at Don Coryell, the coach of the Chargers. With his win last week against Houston, he became the only coach in the National Football League, and the only coach ever to win 100 games at the collegiate level or the professional level. The Raiders, of course, along with Miami and San Francisco, the only undefeated teams remaining in the National Football League. And what a remarkable job Tom Flores has done, taking over 1979 from John Madden. And we look deep to the Raider kickoff receivers. Cleve Montgomery, number 28, is back there with Dokie Williams, who played his collegiate ball for UCLA right here. Set to kick off, Ralph Benershka, and we're underway from the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Benershka hangs it high, and this will be Dokie Williams bringing it back. And Williams found a bit of a hole and bursts out over the 25-yard line, near the 28-yard line for a 25-yard return, and out comes Jim Plunkett, the man who wears a couple of Super Bowl rings but has never been to the Pro Bowl. He just somehow manages to get it done. For 3 games, 54%, a couple of touchdowns, 5 interceptions, had 4 of them last week. There is the offensive unit. Big, strong. They protect the passer very well. Plunkett lives dangerously in that pocket. He moves around until he finds an open receiver. First down and 10. Marcus Allen over the left side. He's out over the 30-yard line for a gain of 2, perhaps 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Defensively, they will align in a 3-4. Will the Chargers? They will change that depending upon situation, as all teams do. The linebacking core. And a pair of rookies in that secondary have grown up somewhat from last year. The Chargers finishing 26th defensively in the NFL a year ago. They have more experience now. They feel they are a much stronger defensive team, and they are ranked 5th in the AFC after 3 games. Quite an improvement. 2nd down and 7, Marcus Allen right side. Yeah, and Allen reaches for the first down, and he gets it just out over the 40-yard line. Marcus Allen, who, like my colleague in the booth, O.J. Simpson, Heisman Award winner, played his collegiate football right here in the Coliseum, and he has a lot of talent, O.J.
Yes, he does. He didn't have to do that much on that run except follow his blocking around the end. It appears that the Raiders are trying to establish that running game. The San Diego defense is quick, but they're not particularly strong, and I think the Raiders are going to take advantage of that early.
First down and 10. The ball just out over the 40-yard line. Kenny King is set back with Marcus Allen. Plunkett puts everyone in the pattern.
Look out.
Finds the open man in the zone, and it's Cliff Branch. And Branch will have a Raider first down inside the 35-yard 28-yard line of San Diego as he got behind Gil Byrd and in front of the free safety. A 24-yard pickup, and Cliff Branch, even with 13 years experience, still has those moves they have to respect.
It was fun to watch him work it. Oh, Gil Byrd, the cornerback you're talking about, because they were in a zone. You've got Marcus Allen short. Watch Jim. He's sitting there looking a bit, just daring Gil to take one step or another. That was a good pass right over Bird's hands. Isn't it amazing how long that guy has been around, and he still is quick?
Well thrown ball over Byrd and right in front of the safety, Danny Walters. It had to be the perfect touch, and Plunkett had it. Kenny King lined up in a wing back. Now he will motion, and Marcus Allen will find a little hole in the middle, pops inside the 30-yard line for a gain of about 3 to bring up 2nd down and 7. The Raiderettes are also here as the crowd is starting to fill up this Coliseum. They will not have a sellout tonight, and the game will be blacked out of the Los Angeles area.
Talking to Al Davis on the sideline, he expects a good crowd here. L.A., the Olympics were here, and we had no traffic at all, but we're back to the same old L.A. now. A lot of traffic.
2nd down and 7. Malcolm Barnwell is split to the right. That's Cliff Branch, top of the screen. Marcus Allen, nothing doing inside, gets outside and is all down from behind. Ken Green coming up there from free safety for the Chargers, made the stop, and there will be a loss of about a yard and a half.
Is that a little too much dipsy doodle that time, Juice?
Oh, just a little bit. I thought he would have gotten outside. Marcus has tremendously strong arms and normally has a pretty decent stiff arm, but this infield of this Coliseum turf has been torn up because of opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and it's still a little soft in the middle. It's going to be tough for some of these backs to bounce outside.
Well, it was worth it.
3rd down and 8. Branch, top of your screen, number 21, wide receiver. That's Barnwell to the right. The tight end, Todd Christensen, he will be the man that Jim Plunkett will most often look for. And they surprise the San Diego defense as they send Marcus Allen over the left side. He'll be short of the 1st down, however. That's the danger of that. He almost popped it for the 1st down. He comes up short at the 20, and we will watch Chris Barr come on. Chris Barr, the field goal kicker for the Raiders, is 4 of 5 thus far in the year with a long of 43. And a bit erratic. Has had a difficult time with the extra points this year. Mark Wilson is his holder this year, and Chris Barr, well, he's a kicker, and some say that he misses David Hum, who used to hold. David Dalby is the center, but he is snapping with a full groin. 43-yard attempt. And Barr gets it through, matching his best thus far of the season, and the Raiders on their first possession take a 3-0 lead over the San Diego Chargers.
The Raiders won 14 consecutive Monday Night Football games from 1975 to 1981.
Oh, boy. San Diego has deployed his deep receivers to await the kickoff of Chris Barr. That's number 26. He's a rookie out of Auburn. 5th-round draft pick. They call him Little Train. He's only 5'6", 171 pounds. He's back there with Buford McGee, a rookie out of Mississippi. Barr. Short kick. Hangs up there, however, for quite a while. And here comes the Little Train, Lionel James. Little Train is derailed at about the 23-yard line. First down and 10, San Diego Chargers, and Dan Fouts, who last week put together his 37th 300-yard game in a victory over Houston, will take charge immediately, and that's exactly what he is, a take-charge quarterback. Charlie Joyner, only 46 receptions away from becoming the all-time reception leader in the National Football League. He has 604 career receptions. Ernest Jackson, the single setback. Of course, Chuck Muncie, any football fan is well aware, is not available tonight. Receivers in motion, and Fouts is back. Flips it off to Ernest Jackson, the second-year man out of Texas A&M, who's performed so well as a running back, replacing Chuck Muncie. Taken there by Reggie Kinlaw, who plays that nose tackle. The Raiders will change their defensive line. Sometimes it looks like a strange fire drill out there, but they'll bring in Greg Townsend and Sean Jones, depending upon the situation. The 2 finest cornerbacks, many people say, in football are Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes. But fine cornerbacks, great ones, are made by a pass rush, and the Raiders get the pass rush. Jackson got 5, so it's 2nd down and 5. Ball at the 29-yard line. Fouts having trouble getting away from the center. Fouts went off again to Jackson. And Jackson will have first down yardage out near the 39-yard line.
Composure. I love it. Dropped the ball. Obviously hit a little safety valve there.
Ernest Jackson's had 2 great rushing games replacing Chuck Muncie. Let's watch it from behind now.
Just didn't look like to me there's anything wrong. Just missed the snap. That's a couple of veterans there trying to take it. But look at Danny now kind of move out his outside. Knows he doesn't have but one place to go, and that's just a little flip off to Jackson. They're really pleased with Jackson. They didn't know what he was going to do at the beginning of the season.
First down and 10, 29-yard line. Jackson single setback. Fouts would change his plays often. Jackson again to the outside, and Jackson with a nifty pickup of about 8 yards before he's upended by Otis McKinney. I started to say earlier that Jackson has really come along for these Chargers. They lost Chuck Muncie in a well-documented trade, and he did not show up for the Seattle game, and then he was given a drug test in Miami and, of course, advised by the league to enter a drug rehabilitation institution, and that's where he is right now. James Brooks was traded to Cincinnati, another well-known Charger for the past couple of years, for Pete Johnson. And now Pete Johnson has been traded to Miami. So, surprisingly, Ernest Jackson is the key runner for the Chargers. On 2nd and 8, Fouts is back.
This must be a passing team.
Winslow near the 40-yard line for what appears to be another Charger first down.
Well, that was sort of a mismatch. You had Matt Millen trying to cover Kellen Winslow, and that could never happen. Matt Millen has lost a few pounds over the last year, but he still weighs in at 250 on a 6'2 frame, and he just does not have the leg speed to try to stay with Kellen Winslow.
Near the 40-yard line of the Raiders. The Raiders on top 3-0. We're just underway in Los Angeles. Ernest Jackson, left side, big opening over in the left side, and Jackson will pop for about 6 to bring up 2nd down and 4. That offensive line of the Chargers has changed considerably. They are the 2 oldest guys probably starting in offensive line. Ed White has moved out from right guard, number 67, many-time All-Pro. He's out at right tackle now, and Sam Clapham has moved over to left tackle, replacing Billy Shields, who had contract problems and opted for free agency. But Sam Clapham will have his hands full tonight with Lyle Alzado. 2nd down and 4. The Chargers on the move. Fouts. Flag is down as Winslow works for a first down, but again, a flag is down. Holding against San Diego. So that will negate a first down by the Chargers. And whether the Raiders are comfortable or not, O.J., they have had such poor starts throughout this entire season. They have only scored 10 points in 3 first halves.
67 offense.
Well, the Raiders are a team that they play their best football. They're an emotional team. They have to be mad at their opponent to play good football, and thus far, none of their opponents have given them any reason to be mad. If you listen to these Charger players talk about the Raiders this week, they were raving about them all week. So they can't get mad, and they don't play well when they're not mad.
The holding was on Ed White at right tackle, working against Howie Long. The 2nd down and 14. This is Jackson. And Jackson
Nice move.
almost pops it, and he comes close to a first down, a little short of it at the 30-yard line. And on 2nd and long yardage, I don't think the Raiders were thinking anything from Fouts other than pass, and they got the sweep. The Raiders thinking nothing but rush the passer, and Jackson was able to get outside.
Well, I tell you, this Jackson is real impressive. He seems to see the field real well. I noticed on his first couple of runs, he didn't wait to get certain blocks. When he saw a seam to run upfield, he got upfield as fast as he can, and that's what a good back will do, and that's why he's averaging near 5 yards a carry.
And he did get the yardage for the first down, so the Chargers are back at the 30-yard line of the Raiders. First down and 10. Wes Chandler is in motion. Fouts with 3 wide receivers. Finds Winslow crossing. He's wide open, and the big one stays on his feet, gets close to the 11-yard line before Otis McKinney takes him.
Well, they make it look easy when they're hitting, don't they? I love Coryell's in the meeting this morning. He says, we pass to set up our run, and they do. They've led the league in passing so many of the last few seasons, but when they've got that passing game working, it's sure fun to watch.
Well, I tell you, Don, Dan Fouts will get that passing game working as long as the Raiders are playing zone defense. As we said, the Raiders are probably the best man-on-man defensive team in football, but thus far they've been playing mostly zone defense.
Then let's bring some linebackers. Let's get them.
And when they start strapping the ears back and coming with the pass rush, it could be a different story. Right now, Fouts with plenty of time to throw the ball Tries to go inside with Jackson. Nothing happening there. Kinlaw at the bottom of that.
They're getting mad. I tell you, I can tell they're getting mad.
Well, when they can't get mad at anyone, they get mad at themselves. They get down by a touchdown or so. They go in at halftime and they get a little teed off at one another, and they come out and beat up the other team. Thus far, that's been their trend.
Oh, look at that one. 1 TD and 37 drives begun in opponent's territory. See how well I read?
That's contrast completely with San Diego, because they have scored a lot of touchdowns on long drives. Their first 4 possessions last week against Houston resulted in long drive touchdowns. Second down and long. Fouts is back. Again has time and tries to get it inside, going for
I think West thought,
Chandler,
yeah.
and I think he just turned the wrong way, or Fouts read it wrong.
Either that or he thought he was interfered with.
Well, he ran into Van McElroy, so I don't know if McElroy had the position, but he certainly ran into him. You'll see number 26 come into your screen inside, and he ran right into him. But I think Van may have had the position on him.
I think he did, too.
11th play of this drive and a passing situation. 3 wide receivers are in. Chandler in motion, and Fouts is back. Again has time and gets the ball inside.
Winslow.
Winslow, and the big 6'5", 240-pound tight end just bulls his way into the end zone, and the Chargers have taken the lead, and they were very effective. Remember the holding call to put them back into a long passing situation on 2nd and long.
Well, let's take a look at it, because he's going up against Mike Davis. They've had a good rivalry. Winslow only averages less than 40 yards against Mike Davis per game, and he averages 79 against everyone else in the league. And Mike Davis says he likes to play him physical, which he tried to do on that play, but Winslow got the most of it.
Fouts was 26 of 37, 336 yards a week ago. In the first half of Houston, he was 18 of 22, and he is picking up where he left off. Bernershka for the conversion.
Straight down the middle.
Holohan puts that down. We understand that Ed Luther, ordinarily the holder, fell off a motor scooter or something last night. So we have a new holder, Holohan. Alan Winslow scores for San Diego. Winslow, 3 receptions already, and as we mentioned at the very top of the show, he had 10 receptions against Houston last Sunday after being out for a week with a contract dispute for 146 yards. Bernershka to kick off. Clee Montgomery is back with Dokie Williams. Dokie Williams. And Williams, another fine return out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Sun is just starting to settle here in Los Angeles. Been cloudy. The heat wave broken a couple of days ago. The clouds have settled in, but it is a beautiful, clear night as Jim Plunkett moves back out onto the field. And we'll be returning to the Coliseum right after this message. Our scoring drive. Let's take a look on our animated scoring board. We've added a little feature for you this week. You'll see the penalties outlined in yellow. And there is a penalty holding against Ed White that brought up a 2nd down and 13, and the Chargers surprised the Raiders, coming with a run by Jackson for a 1st down. And of course the touchdown pass to Kellen Winslow. Rapid moving quarter. Raiders now 1st down and 10. The ball at their own 25-yard line. Frank Hawkins, number 27, now at setback with Marcus Allen. And Plunkett is back. Has a lot of time. Gets it to Christensen, the tight end. And Christensen, who led the league in receptions a year ago, to the 33-yard line.
What did he catch, 92?
92.
That's almost unbelievable, catch 92. This is a control receiver. You think Todd Christensen, good little move right there, as a matter of fact. So you got Todd. Here's a good shot of Plunkett. Let's see if we can check those eyeballs there and see what he's looking at. He's looking downfield. There's quick look downfield. Nobody there. Let's flip off to Todd.
Todd Christensen gets 8 yards, a 2nd down and 3, and Marcus Allen will get the 1st down out of the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Well, we know the Raiders' game plan week in and week out very rarely varies on offense. They want to wear you down and take advantage of you in the second half, and they're doing a good job thus far working on San Diego. And if San Diego is going to win this game, they're going to have to score 30 or well over 30 points. I don't think they can stop the Raiders from getting in the end zone.
Dave Dalby is going at center. He has missed the last couple of games with a pulled muscle. He's in there for the Raiders. 1st and 10. Plunkett has Branch wide open.
I love it.
Branch close to the 15-yard line. He was so open. There had to be some kind of a mix-up in the zone defense. That's a 48-yard pickup. The second long gain with the same pattern by Cliff Branch.
I think what happened, Frank, they had a linebacker coming from the outside, so there's got to be man coverage down there somewhere. That was just a quick little move to the inside. You see right quick like that old Danny Walters wasn't quite ready for that move to the outside.
Well, as I said, the field is a little soft in the middle. There's a lot of sand there. I was on the field before the game began, and it appeared as if Danny just got caught in the softness of the turf. Tripped a little bit.
Cliff Branch now 14 receptions away from 500 over his career. 1st down and 10. The Raiders. Marcus Allen.
They read that one, didn't they?
A lot of trouble.
Billy Ray.
Mike Green.
Oh, that was Green. You're right.
One of those rookie starters of a year ago out of Oklahoma State who has really improved. He led the team in tackles even as a rookie a year ago, and he's once again leading the team. There he is.
They're really proud of those two guys in the middle. Of course, Billy Ray Smith was the #1 pick. Green came down the list a little bit, and Green actually may have had a better rookie season than did Billy Ray, but both of them are awful tough in the middle.
Greg Pruitt comes in offensively now for the Raiders. A setback, former Cleveland Brown great. He's in there with Frank Hawkins. That's the time remaining in the 1st quarter. Chargers leading 7-3. Pruitt, he's hit initially by Mike Green and also Bill Elko.
I think Elko was down on the ground and looked around and found a foot to grab.
Well, this team is a quick team. They're not, as I said, exceptionally big, but they're real quick on defense. They've been playing good team defense, and it appears as if the Raiders are trying to run some counter plays and stuff at them, where they should be trying to power them a little more, but you got to give this San Diego defense some credit. They're playing some good defense thus far this season.
3rd down, 13. The last time this situation, 3rd and long. The Raiders crossed up San Diego. They had their pass prevent defense in, which they do now, and they came with an Allen sweep to the left. Not this time. Plunkett looks for Christensen. That might draw a flag. It was so close as John Turner in there as a nickelback hit Christensen, trying to time it with the ball, and a lot of the fans of certainly Christensen thought he got there a little early.
I have no clue what this call is.
Well, there is no call.
Well, okay.
There it is. Judge for yourself.
That's as flagrant as you can have there.
I think
it does not happen in front of those officials, however, in slow motion. Hindsight is beautiful. Chris Barr, another field goal attempt, this time from 36 yards out. He's been good from 43. He's good from 36. So the Raiders draw to within 1. We have 2:51 remaining in the 1st quarter. San Diego 7, the Raiders 6.
Awfully hard to argue with anything that Fouts has done, because I think he's a premier passing quarterback in the league the last few years. But look, 5 out of 6, 55 yards in the TD. Can't ask much more. I always say he threw the 6th one away.
Chris Barr to kick off.
Wounded duck.
And it takes a one-hopper to Lionel James, the rookie from Auburn. And James out close to the 30-yard line for San Diego's 2nd possession of the game. Tony Caldwell getting down there for the Raiders. We have 2:41 remaining in the 1st quarter as Dan Fouts steps into the Charger huddle. We'll be back.
10-0 to the San Diego Chargers last December. The LA Raiders struck back like a tidal wave with 42 unanswered points, scoring 5 touchdowns in 8 minutes. The frenzy spread to the defense, who picked off passes and made life an unkind thing for quarterback Dan Fouts. They were everywhere, and suddenly, convincingly, this was a team on its way to a championship.
The Raiders were 12-4 last year. Of course, they went on to defeat Washington in the Super Bowl, 38-9. The San Diego Chargers were 6-10 on the year. Don Coryell's only losing season since taking over the Chargers in 1978. But the importance of Fouts really was borne out last year when he missed 6 games. The Chargers lost 5 of them. 1st and 10, San Diego at the 28-yard line. Jackson over the 30 to about the 32, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
I don't think that's kind of a new twist to that offense, because he said they'd like to run, but I think he was planning on running all along this morning when he was talking to us about that setting up the run.
Well, they seem to be getting more vital yards running. In the past, you got the feeling the run was just thrown in there as a diversion for the pass, but it appears as if they're really using the run now to help the offense and put the defense off stride.
On 2nd and 7.
Here they come.
Fouts reads it quickly and fires a shot. It goes to Holohan, who has really improved since coming up from Notre Dame 4 years ago. Recruited as a quarterback at Notre Dame, changed to wide receiver, and he's really filled in well. It's going to be very close to a first.
Good example of, you talk about tenths of seconds, but in recognition, Fouts had that one immediately when he saw Millen come from the middle linebacker, knew exactly where to go. And also that Houlihan did a good job too, because he had to read that blitz too. Right there.
It's funny, you think about a reader of defense, but many times it's his arm that's done it. Well, with that Burrito has, he does it mainly with his ability to read the defense.
The wily old veteran.
Wiley.
The WCV, wily, crafty veteran.
Holohan short by inches for the first down. Raiders will be closing the gaps in their short yardage defense. Jackson will give it a try. Pops it open, and these are the kind you break big because they get all those men up at the line of scrimmage. Linebackers in tight, and that time the last man trips up Jackson, but not until he gets the first down at the 48-yard line.
When they gonna get mad, Juice?
I tell you, it's normally a little later. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. To me, I think San Diego might have got lucky in a way. It's unlucky for Muncie, but they may have found a back that can give him a little something that, of course, Muncie's a great back, but this kid, I think, inside is a little better runner than Chuck. He doesn't rely on brute strength. He's got all the little moves.
First down and 10. Chandler's in motion. Fouts is back. Looks to Chandler. Flag is down. And Chandler is down after a pickup of 5. But a flag is down where you usually get the holding flag. And I think we're going to have another one. Our referee tonight is Gene Barth. The Chargers will be backed up once again. I want to remind you, CFA College Football will return September the 29th, live at 3:30 Eastern, Notre Dame versus Missouri. A couple of high-scoring football teams already this season. Intersectional rivalry, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame traveling to Missouri to battle the Tigers. Both teams, as I said, high scorers. Notre Dame defeating Colorado 55-14 this past weekend. Missouri also defeating Mississippi State 47-30. That's this Saturday. CFA College Football right here on ABC. It'll be first down and 20. Ed White now working against Howie Long, one of the best defensive ends in the league, has picked up his second holding call. Severs in motion, and Jackson right side. And just as they did earlier on what appeared to be long yardage passing situation, the Chargers switch it up and send Jackson to the outside. Jackson is going to have a little equipment repaired.
Well, I'm impressed with him thus far. As you know, the Chargers are a passing team, but the Raiders would prefer them to pass. The Raiders, I think, play their best defense when they're pass rushing the quarterback. And as we said, Ed White has 2 holding penalties. He's playing against Howie Long, who many people believe is the best defensive end in football.
Hubert McGee comes in, the rookie from Mississippi, replacing Jackson. Holohan in motion, and Fouts for the first time feeling a little pressure, and that's almost picked off. Rob Martin, who picked off 4 a year ago on his way to a Pro Bowl year, almost had it, and he thinks he did.
I had it.
Great football player, Rod Martin. He really blossomed last year. He's been consistently around the ball. 4 interceptions, 6 sacks, 108 tackles a year ago, and he almost got another interception here.
Alzado came to the inside. You saw a safety blitz at that time. That was the guy that tipped it. Was that, who was that? That was Mike Davis, I think, came in there and tipped it.
Oh, boy, that's close.
That's awfully close, isn't it?
Third down and 12.
I know, Frank. You didn't have the replay to see that.
Fouts. Chandler in motion. Fouts. This time they'll get to him. He is in the grasp. The whistle had blown. Fouts goes down. The blitz was on. Jeff Barnes was in there in a spot that was filled for so many years by the great Ted Hendricks, who called it a career and a fabulous one after last season. A pair of linebackers trying to fill those big shoes now for the Raiders. Barnes and Stanley Adams will be back. Nifty little football player, Greg Pruitt. I guess I shouldn't call him little, but only because he operates with much bigger people. the 6th leading NFL player in history in combined yardage. Only one active player has more, and that's Walter Payton. Greg Pruitt is close to 13,000 combined yards. Maury Buford is back. He doesn't get to practice much. He had the fewest punts in the NFL over the last 2 years. This is the first punt of the ball game as we begin the second quarter, and Greg Pruitt takes a short punt. Tries to get behind the picket line over in the right, and he goes down at the 31-yard line. Maury Buford, who's been struggling thus far in the early going for the Chargers in the punting department, gets a little pat on the fanny. 1st and 10, the Raiders. They trail the Chargers 7-6.
Going to see Pruitt hustling to try to get over there to get behind that picket line, but he can see it. His teammates couldn't. On the other side of the picket line was 2 Chargers coming at him, and I used to run those kickoff returns back, and there's nothing. You're trying to signal your guys to turn around. There's guys behind you. That's kind of discouraging.
Get the wagons in the circle. 1st and 10, the Raiders at their own 30-yard line. Hawkins and Marcus Allen, and this is Allen.
Marcus says there's no place to go there.
Nothing happening. Marcus trying to get outside, couldn't do that. Tried to come back, nothing there, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Let's take a look at the first quarter stats. We did not have a punt until first play of the second quarter. Fairly even matched, and in yardage, these teams have played fairly evenly over the past 4 games. However, the Raiders have won all 4. We had them last December, and they were down 10-0 when Marcus Allen threw a touchdown pass, and they went on to win big in that one. 2nd and 10. Plunkett under pressure. Throws it away.
Wow.
Hey, Don, Plunkett is amazing, really. I mentioned he's won 2 Super Bowls. He's never been to the Pro Bowl. He just doesn't look pretty back there, but he really gets it done.
Maybe as maligned as any quarterback, I'm talking about the ones that have had success, as anybody I've ever heard of. He came in as a real hot prospect. New England, didn't make it. San Francisco, came over here. And they still, all he does is just win. It's amazing.
Well, Don, he's had the ability to make the big play. He had that at Stanford. In this offense, you don't have to be consistent. All you have to be able to do is make a couple of big plays each game, and he does it.
And he couldn't play for Dallas because you got to be consistent down there.
3rd down and long now for Plunkett. Ball resting just over the 30-yard line. A lot of time, and he will run it.
He didn't want to.
Look at this. McKinney King backhands it. The ball's loose.
That's where. Yeah, that's not.
No, they're saying it is incompleted, that he was juggling the ball.
Sandlot. Love it.
It was, because he knew if he ran, he couldn't get the first down, so he was trying to get Kenny King to stop blocking and slide upfield so he can throw it to him, but Kenny was trying to throw a block.
There's Lionel James. He's only 5'6" and 170 pounds. 5th-round draft pick out of Auburn. Did a lot of things down at Auburn. One of them was returning punts. His career average a little over 12 yards. And here's Ray Guy, 1st-round draft pick in '73. And this will be his 801st punt for the Raiders.
Let's try to take it all the way.
Guy hangs it up, stays there for a long time, and James did not time it out, had to take a step backwards. And a flag goes down late.
Of course.
James at the 23-yard line, but a flag is down on a 47-yard punt and a 3-yard return. Referee again tonight, Gene Bart, sorting it out. And it will be against the Chargers. So many flags on kick returns.
Illegal block in the back, number 52, during your run back, 10-yard penalty.
Ray Preston of the Chargers, an illegal block. So rather than the ball being at the 23, the Chargers will start at their own 13-yard line when we come back. And what a rivalry there was between the 49ers and the Rams in those days. The quarterback's Norm Van Brocklin. He threw a couple of touchdown passes to Bob Boyd. Remember him, a great speedster. The other quarterback for the 49ers, Y.A. Tittle. Final score, Rams 37-24. 1st down and 10, the Chargers near their own 13-yard line. Jackson, left side. It's a good block by Doug Wilkinson out in front of him. Fouts, so far, has had time to throw the ball. Two great cornerbacks for the Raiders. We asked Fouts if he changes his attack because of Haynes.
Well, when you play against a team like the Raiders that have the two best cornerbacks in the league, you definitely have to take that into consideration when you're making your game plan and hopefully put yourself in a position to where you're going to be more successful, maybe going to other guys or using formations or movement, something to keep them from getting the great leverage that they get using their bump and run.
Dan Fouts talking about Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes, and that time he once again quickly read the blitz, got the pass in, got it into Wes Chandler, who is going to be a little short of a first down, I believe. We might even have a measurement. But that's twice now that Fouts has quickly released it. If we look at an
Mike Haynes may be down.
Injured Raider, and it appears to be the cornerback whom Fouts was talking about a moment ago in that interview. That's Mike Haynes.
He may have gotten the wind knocked out of him because the ball was thrown right on the money, a little quick slant in, and it appeared as if the receiver Chandler got his shoulder pad right under him, hit him right in the stomach with it a little bit.
He has to go off for one play, doesn't he? Isn't that a rule?
Yeah. Looked like he tackled him with his chest and not with his shoulder pad, and it looked like Chandler's shoulder hit him right between those two.
Six-time Pro Bowler, came, of course, in mid-season in a very celebrated trade with New England a year ago. Here it is in reverse angle, and you can see Haynes working against Chandler, and he did get it right in the chest.
Yes.
His own man added to it as McElroy came up and really popped him. Third down, short yardage. Jackson tripped up. Did he get enough? I think he did.
I believe so.
Stretched out over the 24-yard line for what should be a Charger first down. Mike Haynes quickly back into the game now as Ted Watts, who had replaced him, goes to the bench.
Oh, I like this Ernest Jackson. You know what he does? When it doesn't appear as if he can get anything, he gets the most out of it. And, boy, he's really going to help this team.
Well, he's been a stunner, too. An 8th-round draft pick a year ago. They didn't count on him at all at the beginning of the year. Then the problems with Muncie, the trade of Brooks for Pete Johnson, and then they traded Pete Johnson, and they're lucky to have Ernest Jackson. Here he is once again. Boy, and he collides tremendously hard with Mike Davis. Of course, we're winding down in the world of baseball. That's the action that's going on tonight.
All right. Kansas City
has moved into first place. They're playing a doubleheader against California. They won the first one, shutting out California 4-0, and they are leading in the second game. Detroit, of course, has already clinched the American League East. They're just waiting to find out who they're going to play. Both league championships will begin right here on ABC a week from tomorrow. It's second down and 8. Chandler is in motion. Fouts, short drop, gets it to Winslow, and a missed tackle. That was Mike Davis who missed the tackle, and Winslow will get the first down as a result. Now close to the 43-yard line, a 17-yard pickup.
He's just such a wonderful target. See him look quickly in case there was a blitz. He's coming back, working in the middle. Goes to the outside. That was Rod Martin that was trying to stay with him. But you're right, over the top. Maybe Mike Davis thought he could knock that ball down or intercept it.
I think he thought it was overthrown, but Winslow is so tall, he was able to get up there and get it. But once again, the Raiders were playing a zone defense.
The first down out over the 43-yard line of the Chargers. Jackson off the left side, and Jackson will get about 4 out of that, moving close to the 43-yard line.
I like the way Jackson doesn't hesitate. He gets upfield, he gets positive yards, but let's don't overlook the job the Chargers offensive line is doing. They're doing a much better job running the ball. They haven't had that much success setting up for longer pass plays, but they're running the ball.
Nor that much practice. They're used to pass blocking. But they are providing some big openings tonight for Jackson. I mentioned that in the last couple of games, he has had 186 yards rushing. Really been a surprise second-year man for the Chargers. Fouts back again. And down goes Dan Fouts, but he gets it off.
What a nice play.
And once again, it's the big man, Kellen Winslow, and Fouts paid dearly for that as the blitz was on.
Talk about a misdirected type run. That's almost a misdirected pass. You look at Denny, quick little fake.
Look at
Jackson.
75.
But look at Kellen Winslow coming from the opposite side. So they're trying to avoid Howie Long any way they can.
I think Howie read it pretty well.
Good effort by Fouts. Watch Jeff Barnes. He's number 56. Nobody touched him. Fouts knew he was going to pay for that one, and he did.
But
you see the bulge of the flak jacket around most quarterbacks nowadays. 45-yard line, first down, San Diego.
Yeah.
Winslow.
Oh,
the big man continues to be on the receiving end for Dan Fouts. He'll get about 7 out of that.
He's got 6 passes. You got to give this game plan of the Chargers a lot of credit, because I know Dan Fouts is the type of guy that likes to throw downfield. Unlike some of the quarterbacks around the league, they like to take that short pass. Dan would prefer to throw the ball deep and down the field 20, 30 yards down. And thus far this game, he's doing these little quick 3-step setups and just dropping it off quick, and it's working.
Not bad numbers. 10 of 12. 97 yards, a touchdown. The Chargers on top, 7-6. 9:36 remaining in the first half. And Jackson on the right side, short of the first down by about a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Mike Davis coming up there to make the stop. Ernest Jackson.
Buford McGee was the guy that...
Well, that is Buford McGee, the rookie from Mississippi. Right. And another Raider has been shaken up. That's Mike Davis, the strong safety who is in on that stop. So Mike Davis will be treated. He looks as though he might have had the wind knocked out of him, and now he's on his feet. We'll be back. Frank Gifford along with Don Meredith and O.J. Simpson. 9:22 remaining in the first half. San Diego over the Raiders, 7-6. Chargers with the football, Raider territory, 38-yard line, 3rd down and 3. Call it a long 2. Jackson, the single setback for the Chargers. This is Jackson, right side.
Got some yards.
Good block by Winslow, and Jackson will have another first down. And there was a happening tonight in Chicago. Here is Jim Lampley with the story.
Well, Frank, tonight the Chicago Cubs have beaten Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh 4-1, so the Cubs have clinched the National League East title. This was the last out. A called 3rd strike from Rick Sutcliffe to Joe Ursulak. Sutcliffe has won for the 16th time in 17 National League decisions. The Cubs are celebrating now, and we'll have a peek into the victorious locker room coming up at halftime. Back to Frank Gifford.
Oh, that's something. First time in 39 years, I think it is. First down and 10 Chargers. Fouts hanging one up, a timing pattern. He threw the ball before Joyner even broke to the outside. He was being covered by McKinney, but that was ever so close.
You see McKinney or a new one come in there, they do their best to try to isolate him. It's not easy to do. You know, if the Cub fans, that's many congratulations, but even if you're not a Cub fan, I think a sentimental favorite had to be the Cubs this year. Everybody was kind of pulling for the Cubs. Reminiscent of the Mets of old.
Charlie Joyner, he is amazing. Now in his 16th year, maybe even more revealing is the fact he's played in 151 games and the fact that he has caught over 600 passes. Here's Jackson right side once again, and Jackson picking up about 3 yards on the effort. Tripped up by Mike Davis, who apparently did have the wind knocked out of him because he is back in the lineup.
You see him ask more and more of the guys that go in motion. That time Winslow was in motion, but after that they ask him to do a lot of blocking, usually at the point of attack. It's a little bit more difficult. New techniques they have to learn. He didn't quite make it that time, but he's made several of them earlier tonight.
3rd down and long. The ball near the 25-yard line of the Raiders. Long drives have characterized the Chargers offense this season, and they're on another one now. The 13th play of this drive. 3rd and long. Fouts buried as the blitz was on. That time Rod Martin gets the sack. But if he hadn't have got it, he would have got a lot of help from Lyle Alzado. They were both there.
You also get a sense that Dan tried to come off of this play, but he just didn't. He thought he could run it anyway. Martin lined up in the right gap.
You got a real good shot of having your folks in the wrong formation when the blitz was coming up. There's nobody to pick up Rod Martin. He was in the gap between Masick and McKnight, and they both had a man over their head. 4th down, it'll be a 51-yard attempt. Ed Luther is now going to hold for Ralph Benerschke. As we mentioned earlier, Luther shaken up in a motorcycle accident last night. Benerschke on the way.
He's got it.
And it flutters through the uprights. Great effort, 51-yard attempt by Ralph Benerschke, the most accurate field goal kicker in pro football's history. Mentioned earlier, the yardage tonight is very close between the Raiders and San Diego. San Diego maybe has an edge now, but in the last 4 games, the Raiders have won all of them, by the way. Look at that. Only Steve Hurt, our walking UNIVAC, could come up with something like that.
I think he made up the yardage bit. He just was trying to make it look good.
It got close, so he made it even.
They both made 1,483 yards.
In 4 games. Truly amazing. Clea Montgomery drops for the Raiders, number 28, along with Dokie Williams. Benerschke, who has just hit from 51 yards out, will put the ball in play. Once again, a high kick that Clea Montgomery will handle at the 2-yard line. Montgomery out of the 20, skips out close to the 23-yard line before John Turner is there to put on the stop. We'll be back in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in a moment.
Would you believe we started
A bit of rivalry between these two teams, and a rivalry that the Raiders have dominated over the past couple of years. Raiders have defeated the Chargers the last 4 games. We mentioned that earlier. Prior to that, in 1981, San Diego had taken the Raiders in the AFC Western Division. San Diego winning twice in 81. First down and 10, the Raiders at their own 23-yard line. Marcus Allen having a hard time working that right side. And of course, the main man for the Raiders over the years has been Jim Plunkett. He's been up and down like a yo-yo. We ask him how he silences his critics.
Well, I've been lucky enough in my last few years I've been healthy. Early in my career I wasn't too healthy and I had a tough time. Health-wise, heck, if I listened to people or the critics who say I should be out of the game, I would have missed 2 Super Bowls. So as long as I feel I can perform, play well, and get the job done, I'm going to keep playing. Usually the critics who make those kinds of statements really don't know what's going on, or reporters who look at things differently than the people who are out there in the field, like the coaches and the players.
Those 2 Super Bowls, I might point out, winning Super Bowls by Jim Plunkett, one in which he was the most valuable player. You just saw Marcus Allen rip off 8 yards over the left side. There's Plunkett. What really happened to him when he was waived by the 49ers in '78, the Raiders brought him in. They set him down and told him to relax, pull it together. He was really a broken young man. And, of course, came from San Francisco, didn't perform well there. The Raiders didn't play him at all in '78. He threw the ball 15 times in '79. In 1980, he took the Raiders to a winning Super Bowl and was the MVP. He's a remarkable man. 3rd down and short. Underneath, it goes to Hawkins, and Hawkins very close to a first down. He'll have it near the 34-yard line.
Good effort by Hawkins.
Almost an impossible play to stop.
Let's pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WTAE and ABC, we're with you.
The Raiders and the San Diego Chargers getting it on in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. The Raiders took an early lead with a 3-point field goal. Fouts came back on a long drive, hitting Winslow for a touchdown. Raiders got another field goal, and Ralph Benerschke has added another win for the Chargers.
Good throw.
Chargers on top 10-6 in the completion to Todd Christensen. And that will be a first down.
And as the game goes on, you're going to see more of that. Todd Christensen is probably the best tight end in football for finding that little hook-up area over the middle. He was a running back, so I guess he's accustomed to looking for the little hole, but he does a good job of hooking up and sliding one way or the other.
All right, a running back that was released by Dallas and released by the Giants. Raiders turned him into league-leading receiver, a tight end. 1st and 10, Plunkett. Pruitt with a gain of about 8. If he turns around Don and says, "Hi, Mom," we can understand, because today is Greg Pruitt's mother's birthday.
Well, if he doesn't, he should. So let's say hi, Mom. I'd like to encourage more hi dads, but if it's Mom's birthday, let's say hi, Mom.
Well, we can't do that, so we won't.
Okay.
But he wanted to say that to his mother tonight.
We can't do that.
2nd down, a long 2 for the Raiders. This game has had a lot of long drives. Pruitt this time runs into his own man, who is backed into the play. He settles for the line of scrimmage, maybe a foot or two. It'll be third and about a yard and a half.
Seemed to keep going right with not a great deal of success over there, right?
Well, it seemed at that time that Greg could have popped over the middle a little bit. It wasn't much there at all. They're trying to run a power play over on the right. You know, the Raiders have those big, just about every lineman they have was once a tackle, so they don't have any real true guards, and they don't run trick plays too well in the middle, but they normally have some success running that power play.
Third down, short yardage. Hawkins and Allen, the setbacks, but Plunkett will put it in the air. He has a lot of time. Allen, out of the backfield, will have the first down at the 41-yard line. 3:11 remaining in the half, and the clock is stopped. Henderson defensively there for San Diego. This is the dimension that Allen gives as a running back that a lot of teams don't have. He is like a third wide receiver. He can do so many things. He was a high school quarterback. He can throw the ball. He's great coming into the pattern out of the backfield.
Well, as Don Coryell told us this morning at the meeting, he thought Marcus was so valuable, he voted him the outstanding player in the league last year because he can do so many things. Of course, not enough other guys voted for him.
Plunkett now 7 of 10, 108 yards. Both Plunkett and Fouts hot tonight. Blitz is on by the Chargers. The Raiders pick it up. And that leaves one-on-one coverage. Christensen working against the linebacker, and that's tough duty, even though Woody Lowe is a very swift outside linebacker. The two tight ends having big nights.
Well, Todd Christensen, as you know, he missed all of training camp. He's still not happy, but he's not doing much talking. I talked to him on the sideline. He seemed pretty happy. In the past, he seemed a little uptight all the time, but he seemed pretty loose today.
First and 10, the Raiders on the prowl at the 29-yard line. Hawkins, single setback now for the Raiders. Plunkett fires it complete. Barnwell, who
nice move,
seems to improve almost weekly for this Raiders. He'll have a first down as Billy Ray Smith has to slide out from linebacker to make the stop. Last week was Barnwell's best day as a pro. He had 8 receptions, 129 yards against Kansas City.
Is he faster than Cliff Branch? Does anybody know?
Well, I don't know. I know that Cliff, I don't think he would have been as fast as Cliff a few years ago, but Cliff has slowed down a little bit. He's not quite as fast as he used to be, but he still draws double coverage, and as we saw early in the game, he can still go for the long one.
Plunkett now with the hot hand. 6 straight completions. Raiders trailing 10-6. They're on the move. Allen, right side. There's an opening. And Allen, surprising strength, squeezes 5 yards out of it inside the 15, close to the 13.
You didn't say slow him down.
Yeah, I said slow him down.
Well, I know what you meant.
Yeah. Hey, all my boys on Betrayal Hill know what I'm talking about.
And we're going to get the 2-minute warning.
Slow him down.
Both teams, 3 timeouts remaining. We'll be back. The Super Bowl champion, Los Angeles Raiders against the San Diego Chargers. The Raiders on a drive. They are trailing at the moment, but they have a second down and 5. They're at the 13-yard line of the Chargers. Frank Hawkins, single setback for the Raiders. Allen out on a wing position. He's a good receiver out there. One hand in it is Cliff Branch. He'll have a first down inside the 5 near the 3-yard line. Cliff Branch in his 13th year. We talked about his speed. How about the hands? Not bad.
Yeah, and the presence of knowing where he is. Now, you don't want to take all these licks coming over there. If he knows he can catch this thing, look, he says, I'm in the middle. So let me have that thing. Now, nice little spin. That's a good move.
To cap off the conversation about his speed, he was a 9.4 sprinter when he came out of Colorado some 13 years ago. He'd have to slow down an awful lot. First down, goal to go. Allen slithers to the 2-yard line, picking up a tough 1 yard. It'll be second down, goal to go. Clock continuing to move, even though the Raiders could stop it if they wished. They have 3 timeouts.
Plunkett calls an awful lot of his plays. I believe we were told 50-60% of the plays.
The 3 tight ends are in there. Todd Christensen, Andy Parker, the rookie out of Utah, and of course Derek Jensen, number 31. Now Plunkett very casual about it. but he knows where he is. He's been there so many times. He has 52 seconds remaining in the half. They have a second down goal to go at the 2. They have 2 timeouts.
Central rivals go at it when Ken Anderson and the Cincinnati Bengals take on the division-leading Pittsburgh Steelers next week on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
The Raiders have used one of their timeouts. I think that they were just letting the clock tick off. They do not like to give somebody like Dan Fouts any time at all, and if they pop it into the end zone for a quick score, Fouts would have had a minute and 10 or 15 seconds to work with. So Plunkett let it go down to 52 seconds before he used one of his timeouts.
Where are they going, Juice? Where are they going?
Hawkins struggles inside the 1-yard line. It'll be third down goal to go.
Well, I would have been surprised if they would have thrown the ball. I think the Raiders are so big up front that they should do it quick. They should go straight ahead at them and hit it as quick as they can and have somebody dive over the top.
1 timeout remains now for Tom Floyd and the Raiders. They have a third down goal to go inside the 1. We'll be back after this from the NFL.
Quiet the studio.
I've always wanted it.
Announcement brought to you, of course, by Eric Sievers, the tight end for the San Diego Chargers of the National Football League. 40 seconds remaining in the first half. A rapidly moving football game. Well-played game. The undefeated Los Angeles Raiders trying to stay that way, along with Miami and San Francisco. Have a third down goal to go at the 1-yard line. Hawkins doesn't get in. And decision time.
You have to give Tom Bass credit, the defensive coordinator of this Charger team. What they're doing, they're just a little quicker than the Raiders up front. I'm surprised they didn't give the ball to Marcus. Marcus is pretty good about going over the top. I think they're going to have to line them up and just tell the back, you got to dive over the top, because what these Chargers are doing, they're coming in under these big Raider linemen, and they're penetrating, and they're not giving the back anywhere to go but over the top.
Well, let's look for it. Let's let them go over the top.
Fourth down goal to go. The ball inside the 1-yard line. We think they'll let it run down to just a few seconds remaining, then use that final timeout. And then it will be decision time. The Raiders trailing 10-6. That will be their final timeout, and they will use it here in a moment. And then I think that they will probably try to get it in.
Well, the Raiders have a lot at halftime to talk about if they want to be mad in the second half, because they've had a couple of their players get the wind knocked out of them, and if they don't score now, they weren't able to push the ball in from the short yardage here. As we see in super slow-mo, they're trying to have Marcus Allen, probably their best blocking back, lead the way. But as you can see, the Chargers get a lot of penetration. They're underneath the shoulder pads of all of those Raider linemen, and they're pushing them back, and there's actually nowhere for the back to go.
Thus far, the Raiders have gone on fourth down twice. They did it twice last week against Kansas City in a drive they had to keep alive to set up the winning field goal attempt in a 22-20 victory over Kansas City by Chris Barr. So that is what they're trying to decide right now.
So the passing stats, that's 10 out of 13 for Jimmy, and 140 yards. That's not bad.
But this has turned into a running game. It's surprising when you consider these two teams that, for the most part, this first half has been a fast first half because it's been a running game.
Plunkett comes back into the lineup. That means that they are going to go on fourth down and about a foot.
All right.
The 3 tight ends remain. That's the time remaining in the first half. We're going to Jim Lampley in New York, updating you on that Cubs win tonight. That
I formation. I'd be surprised if they don't go straight ahead and tell Marcus be airborne.
Look how deep he is.
Jensen in motion.
And he's airborne.
There you go.
Marcus Allen into the end zone.
You called it.
And the Raiders go out on top. They are an explosive second half team. They have struggled throughout their first 3 games in the first half, but they have been deadly in the second half. Here's Allen again.
Sometimes that I formation, the back is too far from the hole, but the Raiders decided to go straight ahead, and as you can see, the Chargers get the penetration, but Marcus is a great athlete, and he just takes off.
That's pretty, isn't
That's a great shot.
Yeah, I love that.
The Raiders go out on top. 6 seconds remaining in the half.
Dwight Stones would have been proud of him.
The first touchdown the Raiders have scored in the second quarter of the 4 games that they have been involved in this year. Chris Barr drills it through the uprights. and the Raiders make it 13-10 over San Diego. Marcus Allen, he did it all so well right on this very field as a Heisman Award winner from USC, blocking back early in his career for Charlie White. But indeed he is a superb athlete. That's how it shapes up. Cincinnati against Pittsburgh, and then San Francisco against the Giants. The Giants in a tie with Dallas in the NFC Eastern Division. Got a few more bricks in there, Dandy.
Yeah, those Giants are coming around. I got to see them play. Tampa played a good ball game yesterday. I saw that game. The Giants are terrific, and the 49ers are still undefeated. They found old Kavanaugh controls that ball, too.
They sure have. It's going to be interesting to see what Bill Walsh comes up with to try to neutralize Lawrence Taylor.
Well,
looking at Marcus Allen, you can't help but remember that Super Bowl last January 22nd, 191 yards rushing. As we look at the deep men for San Diego, that's Lionel James, the rookie out of Auburn. He's only 5'6", 170-pounder. Buford McGee back there with him, and here's Chris Barr. And picked up. Advanced there by Ron Egloff, recently acquired from Denver. 2 seconds, so we'll get one play. Once again, I'll remind you, we'll be going to New York to join Jim Lampley for highlights from yesterday's action. Talk about the Cubs. Their first time as a winner in 39 years.
That's exciting.
I used to follow the Cubs. I have a second cousin, Ernie Banks, you know, and Ernie was MVP a couple of years. Yeah, and I
certainly was.
We always wanted to see them get there. They didn't make it then. I know Ernie, like the rest of us, are happy for the Cubs.
First down and 10 Chargers. They'll run off one play. And Dan Fouts will kill it. So the Raiders, with a final second touchdown here in the first half, have the lead 13-10. We'll be going to New York right after this.
But he has turned out to be a capable backup for the injured Joe Montana, and one of the big reasons San Francisco is 4-0, one of only 2 teams in the league. In the first quarter yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia, Kavanaugh hit Roger Craig, and the former Nebraska tailback ran and caught the ball well for San Francisco. This time a 35-yard touchdown pass that gave the 49ers a 7-0 lead in that ball game. 2 McFadden field goals for Philly narrowed it to 7-6, but in the second quarter, Kavanaugh was ready again. 19 seconds left in the half. This 2-yard touchdown pass to Freddie Solomon made good a scoring threat and gave the 49ers a 14-6 halftime lead and, in effect, control of the football game. It was 14-9 in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 15, Kavanaugh found Dwight Clark recovering well from off-season knee surgery. The 51-yard touchdown, one of 3 Clark catches on the day. The Niners beat the Eagles 21-9. Holding Mike Quick, the brilliant Philly receiver, to only 2 catches. Here's a man who's rapidly becoming one of the best receivers in the league. Mark Duper, the big play man for the Dolphins, did it again yesterday against the Colts in the Orange Bowl. With the score 7-7 in the second quarter, Danny Marino found Duper for 80 yards. Look at the perfection of this throw. Absolutely on the mark. Duper in full stride. The 80-yard touchdown made it 13-7. After a Von Schamann field goal, it would become 16-7. And then with 1 minute left before the half, Marino looked for Duper again. This time the quick slant, 5-yard touchdown pass. Good pass to the inside of the defender. Miami led 23-7 and had full command of the football game. Marino's 12th TD pass of the season. And in the third quarter, the Dolphin defense demonstrated that it always plays a role in what this brilliant team does. That pass off the hands of Curtis Dickey into the hands of Don McNeil. That made it 37 Miami. The Dolphins won 44-7. Shula on the big play.
I thought a big play was on 2nd and 10 from our own 20. And I sent a running play into the ball game, and Marino saw a coverage where he had man-to-man and decided to go for it. And he checked off to the bomb, the Duper. And we got the good protection, and he laid it out there as pretty as he lays it out there, and Duper made the catch on a dead run and got in there for an 80-yard touchdown to put us back ahead in the game. So it's just the thing that Marino is capable of doing. He's thinking big all the time, and if he sees it, he's going to go for it. He has that great confidence in his ability.
Tonight's halftime is also being brought to you by Apple Computer, makers of Macintosh, the business computer you already know how to use.
Coliseum, the Raiders lead the Chargers 13-10 in a good football game. More highlights now, picking up with the game between two of the better young quarterbacks developing in the league, Kansas City and Denver. All the attention before the game speculating on Blackledge versus Elway. It was Elway who showed his increasing maturity in this game. Second quarter, no score. He looked to the right side of the field. Long. And then finally came back to the left side of the field, finding a secondary receiver, in this case, number 83, John Sawyer. Sawyer with the 25-yard catch, set up a 6-yard touchdown run by Sammy Winder. Like Sawyer, Winder had a big day for the Broncos, 139 yards on the ground. Later, Denver scored on an 80-yard drive to lead 14-0. Then Blackledge had this piece of difficulty. The ball off the hands of Billy Jackson in the third quarter, intercepted by number 31, Michael Harden. He went 45 yards. It was 21-0 Denver. The Broncos controlled the football on the ground and went on to win the game by that score. The Bears were unbeaten as they went into the Kingdome to play the Seahawks, but it was Walter Payton's great career. But later in the first quarter, Avellini showed his long-time propensity for the interception. The interception by number 42, Keith Simpson, who brought it back 39 yards. That tied the football game at 7-7. Seattle led 10-7 at the half. Then in the third quarter, one big play got the Seahawks going on offense. Craig looking down the field for Steve Largent. Watch this catch. Fully extended, horizontal to the ground. Largent's grab for 29 yards set up a Craig touchdown run that made it 17-7 Seattle and gave the Seahawks command of the game. Later, there was a Craig to Lane touchdown pass. Then another difficult play for the Bears. Avellini throwing deep in his territory to Suey. The ball stripped away, and as it rolled into the end zone, the little heralded but vastly underrated Seattle nose guard Joe Nash fell on it. That made it 31-7 Seattle. They were on their way to a 38-9 win. A frustrating day for Walter Payton, despite 116 yards rushing and the fact that on this play, he moved past Franco Harris in the race to break Jim Brown's career rushing mark. Payton with 116 yards in the game. Harris only 14 carries for 23 yards. But at the end of the ball game, when they shook hands, it was Franco's team which had won by the score of 38-9, and the Bears are no longer unbeaten. This piece of college football information for you. ABC Sports announced today that on Saturday, October 6th, we'll have regional coverage of 2 College Football Association games. Oklahoma State at Nebraska, both teams presently unbeaten. Nebraska, of course, ranked number 1.
A pair of hot quarterbacks, Dan Fouts of the Chargers and Jim Plunkett of the Raiders. That's the score at halftime. We're about ready to get the second half underway. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Meisterbrau, a great beer at a great price. And by Buick and your Buick dealers. For comfort, performance, reliability, innovation, and a real commitment to quality, see the 85 Buick now. And by Wendy's. Wendy's kind of people never have to ask, where's the beef? Did I say that? Speaking of beef, the big man, Lyle Alzado. So many great years at Denver. We'll be in about 3 weeks. And, of course, 2 years at Cleveland. And a typical Raider. And there is Dan Fouts. 10 of 12, 97 yards, 1 touchdown. And there is Jim Plunkett.
10 of 13.
40 yards. Just about set to go. Both teams back out on the field. Chris Barr to kick off. There's a look at Lionel James again, the rookie from Auburn. Back there with another rookie from Mississippi, Buford McGee. Ryan Gifford along with Don Meredith and O.J. Simpson. Good, fast-moving first half. Lionel James, 5'6" and 170 pounds. Looks like the Chargers got it back, but that was oh so close.
I love to say that.
So the Chargers will have a first down and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the stats as they change from the first quarter to the halftime. It's fairly close, as you can see, in time of possession and yardage. The Raiders opening up a little bit of an edge with their final drive that led to a Marcus Allen touchdown, few penalties and no turnovers.
And look at those rushing yards by San Diego. I would say real surprising. Everyone thought the Chargers would be flooding the air with balls tonight, and they've been having more success running it.
At key points in the game, they have come with the run with Ernest Jackson, have the Chargers. On first down, Fouts is back. Has the time. Was almost picked off. Matt Millen was back there. stepped right in front of Charlie Joyner and almost had the pickoff.
Unusual here that Dent had plenty of time to throw. You'll see good protection. They're only rushing 3 guys. He kind of winds up. Yes, that's where you're trying to drill it in there, and Millen had pretty good position.
Millen, a former defensive tackle at Penn State, he has not had all that many opportunities at that inside linebacker position to get his hands on the football, and it was rather apparent.
Yeah, but at 250, he'll discourage you from running in there.
Think about it.
Second down and 10. This is Jackson. And the second-year man from Texas A&M, again with a nice pickup of about 6 yards out close to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 4. Jackson only carried the ball last year 11 times as a rookie 8th-round draft pick. But as we mentioned in the first half, with Chuck Muncie's problems, James Brooks traded to Cincinnati. Pete Johnson, who they acquired for Brooks, traded to Miami. Well, Jackson's about it, and he has performed well. Third down and 4, the Chargers. Fouts looking for Winslow. He has Winslow, but Winslow will be short of the first down up around the 29-yard line. Mike Davis, a good defensive play. Davis is a big, strong, tight safety, 6'3", 205-pounder, and he is a heavy hitter. He handled a big man. Kellen Winslow, 6'5", 240, and Davis was up to it. We'll see Maury Buford and the punting unit. And we don't see a flag, but there is a discussion.
I'm surprised there wasn't a flag because Pete Houlihan was coming across the middle and one of the Raiders safeties came up and just tagged him. I mean, before the ball was thrown, just leveled him.
Fouts was just questioning on the sidelines whether or not the yardage was enough for a first down. And we do not even get a measurement as we look at Greg Pruitt. Buford is in. This will be his second punt of the evening. Not a good punt on his first attempt. He has the lowest average through 3 games in the NFL. This time, Buford really pops one. It takes Pruitt all the way back close to the 15-yard line. Pruitt brings it back out of the 25 to about the 28-yard line, where it'll be first down and the first possession of the second half by the Raiders.
You want to talk about courage. It takes a lot of courage. Here's Pruitt. He's 34 years old, matches his jersey. He had no blocks at all. He was looking at about 8 Chargers coming at him, and he didn't hesitate at all. He's got as much ground as he can pick up running straight ahead.
Former 3-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Cleveland Browns, Greg Pruitt. Tough cookie. We had him at Superstars competition, OJ, and Don, you remember too. He performed well down there. First and 10, the Raiders at their own 28-yard line. Kenny King, number 33, and Marcus Allen team as the duo of setbacks. This is Kenny King, and he is tripped up, and it was Mike Green, the second-year man out of Oklahoma State.
Elko. Yeah.
Number 68, rather.
Well, they're trying to pick on that side, the left side of the San Diego defense, and they've had absolutely no success thus far.
That's true.
Got Lyndon King over there, linebacker. Gary Johnson's playing the end over there, and of course Mike Green.
Second down and 11. There was a loss of 1.
Come on, Jimmy!
Plunkett is back. Looking deep.
Nice.
Barnwell, he was right on stride. And Barnwell loses the ball, but not until he steps out of bounds. It'll be a first down at about the 37-yard line.
Let's take an isolation on him. As you can see, beats his man at the line of scrimmage. Now, there was rumor that Barnwell may have been a part of a trade a few weeks ago to try to get a linebacker in here, but he had such a great week last week, and he's continuing this week. I don't think you're going to see him in another uniform anywhere soon.
Well thrown ball by Plunkett. That was played well by Bird. He was right there. That had to be perfect, and it was. First down and 10. The Raiders inside the 38-yard line of the Chargers. Kenny King, left side. King is stacked up at the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple out of it. It'll be second down and 8. Woody Lowe defensively there for the Chargers.
It was during this period of the game last year that the Raiders scored 35 points, I think a little over 8 minutes. But the Chargers defense appears to understand what they're trying to do a lot better this year than they did last year, and they're They're doing a super job.
He can destroy the black and white of the Raiders here in the Coliseum with the pastel colors of the Olympic decorations. Seems a little strange. Second down and 8. Jim Plunkett not satisfied with the defense he sees and the personnel he has to go up against it. So he calls timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Wes Chandler of the Chargers. On December 20th, 1982, caught 10 passes for 260 yards against Cincinnati. A Monday Night Football record.
Charger linebacker Billy Ray Smith getting a little sacroiliac adjustment, or that's what it appears to be. Watch, his father was some football player with Baltimore for 14 years.
Oh, he really was. You scared me to death. You come up and line up and look at him, and he was all, he sit there and kind of growl at you or slobber at you. Something. He was tough.
Look behind him, you see Mike Curtis.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The Raiders, second down and 8. The Raiders on top 13-10. Early going in the third quarter from Los Angeles. Plunkett with a lot of time. Flag is down. Branch goes up with it, and Bird comes down with it, but again, a flag is down. We don't want to stop even with the flag down.
Marcus.
Bird taken there by Marcus Allen, but again, a flag dropped early in that play downfield. Some kind of pass interference.
Now they're getting mad, I can tell.
Yeah, it's beginning to happen. They're heating up out there.
Against the Chargers. Holding against the Chargers. So the interception will not go in the book.
Holding defense, number 22, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Will Bird was involved in all of it.
Bird made a good move in the end zone to intercept that pass, but evidently he held before he got down there.
His Branch will watch it all the way, and it's man-to-man with Bird all the way.
Beats him at the line of scrimmage.
That's where he held him, right there. Comes down with it.
Well, when you play bump at the line of scrimmage, you got to bump them.
First down at the 30-yard line now for the Raiders. Everyone's in the pattern. And Plunkett has time. Looking for Allen.
Right.
Spectacular catch.
Oh.
Marcus Allen, corner of the end zone. Beautifully thrown ball. Great protection for Plunkett. 30-yard touchdown.
Did he fall on the ball, O.J.? Looked like he did.
Yeah, he may have fell on the ball, but, you know, Marcus, he's taking a few acting lessons. I think he may be milking it a little bit.
Showbiz.
Marcus plays it to the max, and he does a super job on the backer here. Keeps him inside before he breaks outside, and this is the pass Plunkett has been able to throw over the years almost as well as anyone, and he makes a super dive for it, and I guess he came down in bounds. Both knees were down.
Yeah,
everything came down on the ball a little bit, but great pattern, great pass.
Barr on for the conversion.
Chris Barr with a conversion.
So the Raiders strike quickly and extend their lead over the Chargers. This man, Marcus Allen, a great catch in the corner of the end zone.
It starts with something like this. The quarterback standing back there, you know he's got time to throw. That's about, I would guess, about as hard as Plunkett can throw the ball. He's got a good tight spiral. Zig out move to the outside. Beat him by a step. That's the way you throw it up. That's really fun to watch. Great athletic move, and you can't see. Marcus comes right down. He's got that ball in his left hand and falls right away. Knocks his breath out of it.
Chris Barr will kick it off. Lionel James. James just out over the 15-yard line, and the Raiders look like they're picking up momentum. Let's take a look at that scoring drive. Remember, there was a 33-yard pass completion to Barnwell by Plunkett, and a great effort by Barnwell. That's that long black line. Then you get the penalty, holding against Bird, and then the touchdown toss to Marcus Allen for 30 yards.
Didn't take him long, did it?
I understand that Billy Ray Smith will probably be back. He has a pinched nerve in the back. Chargers, 1st and 10, the ball at their own 16-yard line. Bouts trying to go up for a big one. And Wes Chandler sprinting out there with Mike Haynes.
Oh, could he play the game? You're talking about Billy Ray Smith. Well, he used to be on that line, Bubba Smith. Yeah, gave me a few headaches in my day.
I like what he does to beer cans.
Big Bubba.
Those aren't fake cans either.
No, they're not.
Beaumont, Texas.
Second down and 10 Chargers.
I forgot Bubba played a few years here with the Raiders.
Yes, he did.
Jackson single setback for the Chargers. Fouts is back once again. And Fouts trying to squeeze one in to Eric Sievers, and we get a late flag. Mike Davis was defending for the Raiders, and another flag is dropped on the opposite side of the field. So Gene Barth will sort it out and give us the word.
Defensive pass interference, number 36, first down.
Against Davis, working against Eric Sievers.
Plunkett got, Danny got some pretty good pressure there. We'll see it. I want you to take these pass interference things.
Well, that looked pretty much like the one on the other end of the field against Christensen.
That's the first penalty against the Raiders. That's unusual.
That is.
First down and 10. Fouts, draw play. Jackson, left side, finds a little opening and gets to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 8 by Jackson, who continues to run well.
I like a back who, when he gets the ball, he doesn't look for the blockers. He knows where he wants to go, and he doesn't wait. He doesn't hesitate. If the block's there, he uses it. If the block's not there, if he thinks he can get positive yards, he gets upfield, and that's what this kid does.
Well, he got 89 yards against Seattle in his first start. 97 a week ago. That's what he's done tonight.
Oh, boy.
For an 8th-round draft pick. That's great production. Second and 2. Jackson will try again. Jackson has the first down out to the 35-yard line. First down, San Diego. Bob Nelson made the stop. We'll be there in 1988. The Winter Olympics. That's going to be exciting. The city has really put an effort into it.
Pretty city, too.
Beautiful.
Right up above, you got Banff, Lake Louise. That's awfully nice country. I guess that's where the Olympics will be. Instead of...
I thought I just said that.
Yeah, up in Banff.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. Somewhere in Canada.
Well, I was thinking. That's dangerous.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line. The Chargers trailing 20-10. Fouts wants a big one. Looking for Duckworth.
Oh, close.
Right off the fingertips, but you saw who was right with him, stride for stride. One of the best who ever played this game, Lester Hayes.
It's the first time they come over at Lester's side tonight, isn't it?
I tell you, and they're beginning to throw downfield a little bit, but it would have taken a great pass and a great catch to complete this, because Lester had him covered all the way, even though it appeared, didn't it, Don, that he bumped him a little beyond the 5-yard zone?
Yeah, I really have a hard time figuring those things out, but yeah, it did look like he did.
Right off the fingertips, beautifully thrown ball, and again, fine coverage by Lester Hayes. Lester Hayes and Mike Haynes at the corners, what a pair, and particularly with the kind of rush that the Raiders will put on a passer. Jackson tries the right side, cuts it back when nothing looks good outside. Well, it's a couple of yards out of nothing.
Well, Frank, I think he made a poor decision there. He could have stayed outside. He got a great block by his tight end, Winslow. And what they've been doing is picking on this left side of the Raiders defense. Of course, in the past, you would have had Ted Hendricks there. Now you have Stanley Adams, and right now Jeff Barnes trying to play that position, even though Jeff is coming off the field now. And they've had a lot of success running to their right tonight, and I think it's mainly because of the absence of Ted Hendricks.
Third down and 7. Passing situation. San Diego brings in Bobby Duckworth, who joins Wes Chandler and Charlie Joyner. And, of course, Kellen Winslow is like a wide receiver.
No backfield.
Well, they're not fooling anyone if they left one in there. Fouts tries to get one off to Chandler. He was well covered. Good coverage by Mike Haynes. In fact, great coverage overall by the Raiders.
You're right. That's what they did. They just had him so covered. I would say he came back to about his 3rd or 4th receiver that time.
Everyone was in the pattern, and Fouts had the time. Finally just had to release one in the general direction of Chandler, who was well covered. Pruitt drops on 4th down for the Raiders.
You're not going to get rich throwing downfield against the Raiders. You got to throw those 3-step drops and quick passes.
Buford got off a 51-yard effort on his last punt. Greg Pruitt awaiting the kick at about the 25. Now drifts back to the 15.
Good move.
Good move by Pruitt. And Greg Pruitt breaks tackles and gets out to the 30-yard line. Good effort.
Oh, there's no whistle. There's no whistle.
No whistle had blown. San Diego is saying that he coughed it up. Holohan came up with it. Half the players had stopped.
Well, that's going to be fun.
Again, don't stop playing football until you hear the whistle. If there's any question, go at 100%. Look at it from the reverse angle.
Well, I was going to say Pruitt can still do it, and he was doing it until something that none of us saw happened. Now he's hit. He still has the ball. He's trying to run backward, and there's Houlihan who ends up with the ball. He just takes it away from him. That's the reverse angle. We would have never saw that without it.
Well, certainly didn't see it from here, and half the players had stopped. The San Diego Chargers have the football. They have a first down at the 12-yard line of the Raiders. Jackson. Oh, Jackson is
they're mad now.
Howie Long.
Now they're mad.
All-pro a year ago, led in sacks. Just can do it all over in that left side.
Plays the run as well as the pass rushes. Even though, once again, I think Ernest could get outside. He's been getting those positive yards turning up immediately, and I think he's going to have to run the play the way it's been designed to run, and that sweep is designed to try to get it outside, stretch it, and pick a hole.
Greg Townsend comes in. We anticipate a four-man front for the Raiders now. They're going to try to come with the pass rush, take out a couple linebackers, bring in another defensive back, and here comes the pressure. Fouts had to hurry it, and Lester Hayes covering Charlie Joyner was right there.
Boy, that was the pressure you're talking about from those front four, and that is why I think it helped. Well, I know it helps, but that might be why that secondary is so good, because they can put those four guys up front, and they really come, don't they?
I tell you, you got two guys that can cover like this. Lester the molester, he gets on guys. He don't need to stick them. He sticks on them, and look at him. Just like a basketball guard covering another guard.
He looks right into Joyner's eyes, and when Joyner puts those hands up, starts to go for the ball, Lester Hayes knows it's coming. Great defensive back. Third down and 13. Joyner and Chandler, one catch for 4 yards between them on the night. Again, pressure on Fouts. And this one,
they're mad
there by McElroy.
They're mad.
And they are fired up now.
They're mad, and they're bad. They're bad.
Last 6 attempts by Fouts, incomplete. Much of it under pressure. And now we'll see Ralph Benershka.
And you say they have one catch between them, Joyner and Chandler. That was on a real quick slant they ran. Of course, we recall a few weeks ago, James Lofton and John Jefferson, two of the finest receivers in this game. Between them, they only caught 3 passes in the whole game against these cornerbacks, Haynes and Hayes.
33-yard attempt by Benershka.
Oh, he is straight.
Benershka through the uprights. He's already hit from 51 yards out tonight. So San Diego pulls to within a touchdown and a conversion. We'll be back in the Coliseum in a moment. Lively crowd here on hand. They anticipated a little over 70,000. They have got that, I'm sure. Dan Fouts really upset. He was really exercised when he came off the field. I think just frustration not being able to get it in. Benershka hits it. Clee Montgomery is deep. And here comes Montgomery. And down goes Montgomery. Good tackle at the 23-yard line. I want to remind you, it'll begin October the 2nd, the National League Championship Series and the American League Championship Series. Exciting playoff action begins as baseball's division winners meet in the start of Major League Baseball's League Championship Series. You'll see it live exclusively right here on ABC October the 2nd. Of course, it'll be the Cubs against San Diego. Detroit goes against the winner of the American League West, and that's going to be Kansas City, Minnesota, or California. All the excitement right here on ABC.
Well, they got a tidal wave going around in this stadium.
They got a funny wave here at the Coliseum.
That's a big one.
1st and 10, the Raiders. They lead 20-13. That's Barnwell in motion. Plunkett steps outside, fires a shot, and Christensen is there. And again, the maneuverability of Plunkett Even though it may not be the most graceful thing in the world, it is effective. He stepped outside of the pressure, then very coolly found Christensen and the Raiders with a big pickup, 30 yards. They'll have a first down at the 46-yard line of the Chargers.
You're going to see him get hit pretty well here, too. Moves back out. That's Woody Lowe.
Keith Ferguson put a pop on Plunkett.
He got hit. Nice catch, though.
Good football game. Two of the finest in the league. Certainly offensively, and the Chargers are beginning to think they have developed a defense under Tom Bass. This is Hawkins, and Hawkins tripped up as he gets inside the 45-yard line, hit there by Miles McPherson. Let's go back and look at the play a few moments ago, the completion to Christensen. You'll see it in super slow-mo. Watch number 76 come in, and Keith Ferguson.
But Woody Lowe also gets him from the back. That's Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside, and they let him have it, don't they? Woody Lowe almost hit his arm before he threw.
Hawkins got 3. It'll be second down and 7. The ball near the 43-yard line. Plunkett has completed his last 10 in a row.
11.
Allen. And Allen wiggles and squirms close to another first down. I think he's got it inside the 36, hit by Ian. Raiders have come storming out here in the second half. They did have the turnover by Greg Pruitt. San Diego couldn't get it in. They had to settle for 3 points. And the Raiders leading 20-13 with 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Short of the first down was Allen as they mark it outside the 36, short by inches. Parker, the rookie from Utah, joins Todd Christensen as 2 tight ends are in for the Raiders. Allen and Hawkins are the setbacks. It'll be Hawkins. And Hawkins hit by Woody Lowe. So quick, Woody Lowe, not large, 6 feet, 220 pounds, but he is there so quickly. And now, it'll bring up fourth down and about 1.5 yards, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Channel 4, WTAE-TV, Pittsburgh.
Good football game. If you've joined us late, the Raiders got off the scoring early. It's been seesawing back and forth. The Raiders, however, have come out in the second half after getting a final second touchdown by Marcus Allen at the end of the first half. San Diego does not even drop anyone. Ray Guy doesn't do it often, but he is capable. He's a good athlete of running or throwing, but he'll angle this one for the corner. And he's going to get one. Not what he wanted, as they are going to mark it close to the 15-yard line. So there's a net pickup of just 20 yards. The Chargers get it back at their own 15. And get the edge back. They got a break. Ray Guy's punt going out at the 14. They'll have a first down and 10, and they have marked it right at the 14-yard line. And Fouts, he's had the completions, but as you can see, only 100 yards. He's had to throw many times under pressure and to the underneath receiver. Again, time, and again, good coverage by the Raiders, but this time he gets it to Eric Sievers, the tight end. He's short of the first down, but he'll get about 9 yards. Eric Sievers would be starting for a lot of football teams around the league.
You ever throw darts, Juice? You know, like throw darts?
Occasionally.
That's what Fouts looks like when he throws that middle range, and he's just whew, a lot of wrist involved in it. I just thought I'd mention that.
But in this case, the board hits back. 2nd and 1. Jackson with a big hole, and Jackson to the 30-yard line. First down, Chargers. Rod Martin defensively for the Raiders, but the Chargers are a different-looking team tonight. They've been able to run, and they have used the run in situations where you, in the past, would not expect it.
Well, you have to give the defense credit for that, because the defense is keeping them in the ball game. When you have confidence in your defense, you can run the ball. And you got a back like Ernest Jackson who's running this well. You want to run the ball.
His best game already tonight. He has 104 yards and 19 carries. Ernest Jackson. Fouts again has the time, looking for Winslow or Holohan. Incomplete.
Jeff Barnes thinks that one should have been his.
And a flag is down.
Kellen Winslow was the intended receiver. Matt Millen, you might call that a little bit of holding or something there.
Mauling.
Personal foul, illegal head slap, number 77 defense. First down.
Well, they had a whole bunch of things happen on that play. They called Alzado, and you saw Matt Millen giving Kellen Winslow the treatment.
They are getting mad.
They get mad.
They're mad.
Yeah. Hey, getting mad is help for them. Yeah. We look at some, what do we got there?
Got to be tacos and guacamole. We're in Southern California.
45-yard line, first down, San Diego. Bounce back again. Chandler. That time, Alzado hurried Fouts. Chandler almost turned it up on him, but they communicate so well. They work so hard in practice, and of course, their game has been a throwing game ever since Don Coryell came 7 years ago. That time, only a pickup of about 3. It'll be second down and 7. That's the 4,000th pass of his career. And it only took him 134 games. It's amazing how many other quarterbacks have taken almost twice as long to get there. At the 48-yard line. Second down and 7. Jackson again, big opening this time.
I'm telling you.
Jackson inside the 40-yard line. He's having a big night.
That's big Doug Wilkerson, left guard in there, is doing a good job blocking. And a moment ago, you saw Don Masick, the center.
Let's take a look at it. It's a nice little hole. It's almost a draw play. Essentially, that's what it is.
Zone blocking, too.
Yeah, but they went right after the defender, so the linebacker should have known it wasn't a draw. Normally, when it's a draw, your offensive line will set up like they're pass blocking, but they jumped right on the Raiders defensive lineman.
You can run the football, and you can throw it a lot easier also.
You bet.
The Raiders defense has to think run now with Jackson well over 100 yards rushing. First down and 10, and Jackson again, another big opening for Jackson, and Jackson will be close to another first down.
As I said earlier, this is the first time I've seen a Charger team where the pass looks like it's keeping the defensive team honest so that they can run the ball.
Hullabaloo, connect.
Kid's done an excellent job tonight.
Again, an 8th-round draft pick was not expected to do much of anything. He was questioned whether to even make the ball club. He only carried it 11 times a year ago, but with all the running back problems for San Diego, this youngster has really emerged. He got the first down. On first and 10, Jackson. Seems to like the work, and he'll pick up another 4 yards. Billy Ray Smith, whom we saw a while ago being treated on the sidelines for San Diego, we understand has been taken into the locker room for x-rays. It had been reported that he had a pinched nerve in his back. We'll try and keep you up to date on that.
All right, it's Jackson.
Better to be safe than sorry.
From Needville, Texas. Where's that, Don?
Where's Needville?
Needville, Texas.
Near Wink.
Down there close to Houston.
Buford McGee is in, a rookie from Mississippi, an 11th-round draft pick. Second down and 6. Blitz is on. Fouts tries to get it to Severs. Incomplete. He was under tremendous pressure. That was the strong safety, Mike Davis, on the blitz for the Raiders.
Well, that's why you see you got to get that running game going, and they have it going because you're not going to go to the bank throwing the ball downfield against the Raiders. They're blitzing a lot tonight, and even when they don't blitz, they have one of the best pass rushing defensive lines in the game today. And when they can bring Townsend in off the bench, or of course they have Howie Long already there. Sean Jones, he's come in, he does a great job. I don't think there's any team in football that can put the pressure on the quarterback that this Raider team can.
There'll be no running backs for the Chargers. No setbacks.
Watch out for the quarterback draw.
Fouts reads it quickly, fires the completion, gets the ball to Houlihan, and he'll have the first down at the 11-yard line.
Dan, it's amazing to me that not only does he read it so well and so quick, he's able to throw the perfect pass where the receiver's not reaching for the ball.
Keeps it going right in stride, too, doesn't he?
Raiders on top, 20-13. We're in the final minute of the third quarter, and Dan Fouts has rallied the San Diego Chargers. They're 2-1 in the season. The Raiders are trying to remain undefeated. Only 2 other teams are in the league through 4 games, Miami and San Francisco. Jackson back in the game on first down. Jackson Jackson inside the 10, close to the 8-yard line, upended by Jeff Barnes.
Jackson did a great job of turning that one up again. Once again, he never wastes time. Ron Martin closed it down. He turned up and got positive yards. Ernest Jackson, boy.
Having a big night as we wind down the final seconds here in the third quarter. And the peristyle into the Coliseum will like it. Large crowd here, well over 70,000. We'll be back for fourth quarter action after this one. Frank Gifford along with Don Meredith and O.J. Simpson. We begin the fourth quarter. The San Diego Chargers against the Los Angeles Raiders. Chargers have a 2nd down and 8. The ball at the 9-yard line of the Raiders. Big night for young Ernest Jackson. 136 yards. In the last 2 games, he's gained 186. He has been such a pleasant, shocking surprise for the Chargers. Faust looks to the end zone and just throwing that away. Chandler well covered. Lester Hayes was back there. Otis McKinney was back there. And Jeff Barnes was back there. Faust just got rid of it. Let's take a look at that coverage.
Almost had too many people in the same zone over there. They were trying to get deep with Wes, it looked like. And Lester's just right there, right in his face again. Then he didn't have any place to go.
3rd down now. 3rd and long, and the situation substitutions have taken place. Raiders will drop into a 4-man front. Now they lay the ears back, and they'll come. Faust steps back into the pocket. Rifles a shot, gets it to Winslow. He struggles close to the
first down.
Goal line. It will, however, be a first down, I do believe.
Now that's picking him up. 3rd down and 8. That's finding the big man.
Faust under tremendous pressure, and he'll get it from the outside. He steps right back into it.
Give those big guys up front, though, some credit. They gave him some time to throw there.
Not a whole heck of a lot.
Good struggle by Winslow, and he gets the first down. First down, goal to go.
A ball game is in the air.
Winslow caught 10 last week for 146 against Houston. He is 8 tonight for 84. Jackson. He doesn't get in by that much.
He certainly was close.
Yeah.
You see where they mark the ball when they pick it up here.
I thought it was over myself. Of course, we're a long way away.
They have to go over the top.
Pair of AFC Western Division teams. Should San Diego take the Raiders tonight, there would be 4 teams locked in a first-place tie in the AFC West. Denver and Seattle, San Diego, and the Raiders. But right now, the Raiders have the lead.
Tough division.
It is a tough division.
Yeah.
Kansas City improving. Denver wiping out Kansas City, shutting them out yesterday.
Surprise.
2nd down, goal to go. Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Good tackle, but Jackson stays in the air, gets it in the end zone. And we're a conversion away from a tied football game.
The more you watch him run, the more you got to feel Don Coryell knew what he had when he started trading all those backs away out there. I don't think this is too much of a surprise to Coryell. Maybe to us, because we haven't seen him that much.
Well, he's been doing it all year, ever since they've been playing him. He came into the game leading the AFC in average per carry.
Lyle Alzado had a penalty called on him that kept an 86-yard drive moving.
It was a head slap, but you got to wonder if he wants it back.
Benershka for the conversion. Ed Luther puts it down, and we are tied at 20.
Is good, and the score is 9 and 20.
There he is. He is having
proud.
one whale of a night. 5'9", 206 pounds. He's in the 100-yard area now. The Raiders deep end. Clee Montgomery, number 28. Doki Williams, number 85. They're tied at 20 with 13:42 remaining in the game. Ralph Benershka to kick off. Not a high kick. Williams steps up and takes it close to the 10-yard line. And brings it out over the 30-yard line, so the Raiders will have good field position. First down and 10, the Raiders. Reminder, see on ABC. Raiders at the 32-yard line. Well-played football game. by both teams. The surprising part of it, the Chargers being able to run as well as they have. Wide open. Oh. That was Marcus Allen slipping. He was wide open. No one had picked him up. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10. More action from the American League West. Kansas City pouring it on over California. They're in the 8th inning, leading 11-3. Minnesota, of course, that's final, 8-4 over Chicago. What a race. California, Kansas City, and Minnesota. That's the last one. And we'll bring you the playoffs beginning a week from tomorrow night. 2nd down and 10. And finally they get to Plunkett, and it is Woody Lowe. Woody Lowe, who plays the game much like the Raiders' Rod Martin. They're not all that big, but they're quick, they're active, and they have a great football sense about them.
Well, he did a good job of that. He blitzed. Kenny King came up to block him. Kenny King didn't pop him as well as he should have, and what Woody did was just push Kenny back towards Plunkett, reached around him and grabbed Plunkett.
Walked him on back. Walk on back.
That's the Raiders' first sack of the night.
I like what Tom Bass have this Charger team doing. They're not waiting at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to shoot the gaps on this bigger, stronger Raider team, and thus far they've been able to be a little quicker than the Raiders, and they're winning because of it. They're tied up anyway.
Loss of 7, 3rd down, 17. Plunkett again in trouble. And they'll blow the whistle on that one. Plunkett in the grasp of the tackler, and is Keith Ferguson, who is such a much improved ball player. Put on of what? About 20 pounds, O.J., with the weightlifting program in the offseason.
Yes, he's stronger, but once again, this team is beating, or they're staying in the game with the Raiders because they're beating them up front, and they're not beating them physically. They're just a little quicker than the Raiders are. It appears on both offense and defense up front. The Chargers are getting the best of it tonight.
Ray Guy comes on for his 2nd punt of the night. That's Lionel James, the rookie from Auburn, back at the Chargers' 35-yard line. A lot of respect for this man, Ray Guy. He was kicking the NFL when Lionel James was playing in the sandbox. High kick that hangs. Fair catch called for and executed by the short man, Wes Chandler, and the Chargers, who are hot right now, will have great field position. They have the ball at their own 44-yard line on a 39-yard punt by Ray Guy. Perhaps the best tight end that's ever played this game, Kellen Winslow, fired up tonight, having a big night, along with Dan Fouts. And we asked him earlier if there's any special incentive for the Chargers when they win against the Raiders.
Well, we've had a lot of trouble with Seattle over the past years, too, and there's a lot of incentive playing against them. But just playing the Raiders and that mystique that everybody gets all hyped up about, I enjoy playing against the Raiders. They like to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and I like to go against man-to-man.
He has been busy tonight. Has scored a touchdown, set up another one. Kellen Winslow. Chargers, 1st and 10, the ball at their 44-yard line. Foul, short drop, Holohan, wide open. They'll run the big receiver down, but not until he gets a 1st down near the 26-yard line. They're getting 31-yard pickup.
I think the other guys are getting mad. They're bad.
Hey, they're doing a job all week long. You heard the Chargers players say that this Raider team is a great team. You heard the coach, Coryell, call the Raider team maybe the greatest team of all time. Sort of set them up there a little bit, Don.
They really puffed them up during the week out here, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
And who's to say that maybe they are the best team ever put together? I happen to think the guys playing it today are far better than the ones who ever played in the past. 1st down and 10. That was Jackson with a good move to get back close to the line of scrimmage. While Alzada was there, Rod Martin. Flag is down. It'll be illegal motion against the Chargers. I'm sure the Raiders will take that. That would, in the event it goes that long, would move the field goal range back considerably.
Look at that
Illegal
expression.
motion, right guard. Still 1st down.
Dennis McKnight, movement on the right side. And do you think Don Coryell gets into a game?
I think.
How would you describe that expression?
He said, "I'll tell you one thing. We're going to do something, and we're going to do it right now."
Amazing career, Woody in San Diego State at the collegiate level. I mentioned earlier, the only coach ever to win 100 games at the collegiate level and also 100 as a professional, which he did last week. First down, 15. Jackson goes down in the arms of Howie Long.
Big Howie.
You saw Howie glance up at the clock and the scoreboard. The clock showing inside 12 minutes remaining in the game, and the game tied at 20.
He last blinked his eyes in the second quarter.
Yeah. Hey, they're in what they call Raider territory. The second half, the Raiders have outscored their opponents 64-14, but the Chargers aren't having it tonight. Chargers are doing a great job in this second half.
Jackson might have got a yard. We'll call it second down, 14. Bobby Duckworth joins Chandler and Joyner as 3 wide receivers are in the game for the Chargers. Fouts.
Run.
Could have run forever. That's not his game. Duckworth was the intended receiver. Mike Haynes right with him.
So many times you see the offensive player come back and make a reception like that when they've underthrown the ball a little bit because Haynes was right on him.
Yeah, but Mike, you know what Mike Haynes and Lester Hayes are able to do? They're able to cover the guy without looking at the quarterback, shadow him, and they're so good at that last instant when they see the offensive receiver go for the ball to react. And a lot of guys can cover like that, but they can't react to the ball like these guys can.
And that's what it looked like he did, too, because right at the very last second, he may have even touched the ball a little bit.
San Diego with a rather unique offensive set.
I guess that's a God-given gift, being able to react at the last minute like that.
They've got Chandler now. He starts off as the tailback, and now they have no setbacks.
I hate this formation. A running back like me.
They love it.
Going to Holohan, and it's overthrown. Fouts had him. He was behind the defender, but he missed. And we're going to see Benershka coming out to try to untie it.
He's the only guy double teamed. They spread him out so much, and the one man that was double teamed was able to beat the double team, but Fouts led him a tad too much.
Should be about a 48-yard attempt. Benershka's career best is 53 yards. He's well within range. No wind to speak of. The holder will be Luther. Gissinger will provide the snap. 48-yard attempt. High snap. That sometimes makes it tough. Benershka through the upright. Third field goal of the night for Ralph Benershka. 51 yards, 33 yards, and now 48 yards, and the Chargers are on top once again. Lee Montgomery, Dokie Williams will drop for the Raiders. And Benershka will kick off. 11:02 remaining in the game. 23-20, San Diego over the Raiders. Short kick, high kick by Benershka. Lee Montgomery from the 6. Montgomery still on his feet, gets out over the 25-yard line. That was one he could have broken for a lot of yardage. And let's go back and look at super slow-mo. This was a high snap that Ed Luther got down perfectly. On a high snap, you many times cannot get it down with the same kind of timing.
Look at the little spin right there to get that lace pointed forward, too. That's very important for some kickers.
Yeah, that's slow-mo that we first brought into play in the Olympics. Really can stop that action. Ordinarily, that would have been so blurred with the regular replay. Really is fun to watch. 28-yard line. The Raiders down by 3. Hawkins is the single setback now for the Raiders. Marcus Allen is flanked out. He's a good receiver out there. Plunkett, a lot of time. Has to dump it off to Christensen. He struggles over the 35, but a flag is down. Christensen short of the first down. Gain of about 8.
Holding.
Holding against the Raiders. So an 8-yard pickup will be negated. Kansas City has swept their doubleheader over California. They are in first place. Those are the standings. Going to be tough for California to get it together. But Minnesota is a half game back. Kansas City has 5 games remaining. 2 of them, of course, remain against California. First down and 20. Allen now the single setback. Plunkett will look to pick up some of it. That one almost picked off.
Certainly
Trying to get it to Todd Christensen. And have a shaken Raider. That's Miles McPherson.
The Chargers, they had that one read from the looked like at the beginning, and that was the guy that almost intercepted it, too. Came down on his knee wrong, it looked like.
Miles McPherson made the Charger team a surprise member of the squad in '82 as a free agent out of New Haven, Connecticut College. And he is going to be assisted off the field. That'll bring in Bob Greger to replace Miles McPherson. Made a great effort for it. Got tripped up as he tried to leap over Todd Christensen. Came down and grabbed at his knee.
Well, it was an interesting stat there. Once again, I said the Raiders are a second-half team, but they're losing this second half 13-7. And the game by 3 points.
Second down and 20. The Raiders at their own 18. Block it again with a lot of time, and again difficulty with the receiver, and it's picked off. Woody Lowe. He's gone. Woody Lowe gets into the end zone. And the Chargers have come roaring back in the closing minutes of the third quarter and here in the fourth quarter.
And I just saw a flag in the end zone. I wonder if that was some sort of celebration. He did spike the ball, but it didn't look like any choreographed celebration.
With Bob Greger discussing it with the official, the flag went down very quickly.
But more important, they got the 6 points.
On a 32-yard interception return, Woody Lowe.
Way to go, Woody.
That was Tom Bass you saw with the very shiny head there. Remarkable man. Returned to the Chargers a couple of years ago.
Illegal spikes were penalized on the kickoff.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty.
That's the excessive demonstration rule. That assessment will come on the kickoff. But Tom Bass has changed things around. That's considering, too, that they have not been able to sign their #1 draft pick, Katie, out of the University of Texas, a cornerback, as we watch Benershka drill it through the uprights.
Another high snap.
But the Chargers 2 years ago were 28th defensively in the NFL. Last year they were 26th. They have improved remarkably. And there is one of the reasons, Woody Lowe.
Yeah, Jim trying to hit Todd Christensen with this. You'll see that number 58, Mike Green, comes in, makes some contact. Ball's thrown a little bit high, bounces off of his hands. And Woody Lowe was right there. From another angle, we'll see it again. There again. Green's there on that side, too. How about that? Woody Lowe got... So stay down there, Todd.
Boy, he had a deep drop on it, too, Don.
He sure did.
Very quick, Woody Lowe.
Jim Plunkett got a pretty good lick over on the sideline as he rushed over to try to tackle.
And by the way, it's the 10th career interception of Woody Lowe. 16th career interceptions, and that is his 4th touchdown return. We're taking a look at Miles McPherson's knee as Benershka kicks off. It'll be Dokie Williams from the 3-yard line. Look out. Williams with a great return out over the 45-yard line. Former UCLA world-class triple jumper with tremendous speed. There he is.
Oh, Dokie's the heir apparent to take Cliff Branch's place. They really like him here. Didn't have much of a college career at UCLA. They didn't really play him that much. Just threw a ball to him a few times. They think in another year or so he should be ready to step in there for Cliff, but Cliff is not slowing down too much.
It's Miles McPherson. You saw him a short while ago go up for the interception against Todd Christensen. Collided with Christensen, came down on the knee, and now they have it packed in ice. 46-yard line, the Raiders first down and 10. 10 minutes and 9 seconds remain. 30-20 San Diego over the Raiders. Wide open is Allen. And Gil Byrd is there defensively for the Chargers. Allen close to a first down.
Yeah, Marcus went out of bounds, but he gave Gil a little something to take with him. A little forearm there.
Forearm shiver.
Yeah, forearm shiver, exactly what it was.
And we're going to have a measurement. Very close.
I think with the Chargers, they really missed not signing this Mousy Cade. He was their #1 draft choice. They wanted to put him out there on the cornerback, on the corner position rather, and they would prefer to put Gil Byrd at safety, let him play strong safety as we see the chain here. Just a fraction.
I'll tell you, that couldn't be any closer. Oh, that much. How much is that? Barth very delicately indicates less than an inch.
It's a good down. You know, when you have second down on less than an inch, you think you can really gamble on the second down play. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the Raiders throw downfield, try to get in the end zone.
Surprised me they haven't gone up on top as much as they have in the past. They like that. They like to throw deep. They love to get the completion, but they don't really care that much about it because it gets a lot of respect by the secondary, and they start laying off those receivers, and then you can throw so much better underneath.
Well, I tell you tonight, every time they've tried to go deep, the Chargers have had a pretty good pass rush.
Second down and about an inch. Allen has the first down easily near the 41-yard line of San Diego. Keith Ferguson defensively there once again. The Raiders know how to come back. They've done it so often. They're a tough group. They really are. They're a together group. They've gone through so much adversity, legal hassles over the past 3 years.
Well, you can see the Raiders are trying to pump it up. They're in and out of that huddle pretty quick. It's normally a sign of a team that's sort of hyped up.
Allen gets the first down on his first carry here in the second half. Look out. Block it. And the protection broke down.
I'll tell you, that big fella, Keith Ferguson's been playing a good game tonight. He's been all over that field.
Well, he's quick, and as they said, he put on 20 pounds. He's weighing in at, as you can see there, 255 pounds now, and that strength evidently has helped him. He doesn't appear as if he's slowed down any.
That's good. It doesn't appear that to me.
Yeah, slow down.
Slow down.
All right.
That's it.
At the 41-yard line, second down and 10. Plunkett, Christensen was there, but it would have to have been a perfect pass over a linebacker in front of the defensive secondary.
And Plunkett is feeling the heat a little bit because this Charger team, which came into this game, they didn't appear to have much of a pass rush, but tonight they have an excellent pass rush, and on that play, they didn't even blitz anyone.
Amazing. They were tied for the fewest sacks in the league last year with 31. Give you an idea how that compares. The Raiders had 59. But they are getting pressure tonight. Plunkett now 15 of 23, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That interception by Woody Lowe returned 30 yards for a touchdown. Third and 10. Plunkett scrambles out of the pocket. Christensen wide open. Christensen was wide open as Billy Ray Smith had to come back and play the run. Plunkett threatening to turn upfield. And when he did, he released Christensen. He was wide open. A 26-yard pickup.
Couldn't have called it more accurately from the way I saw it because he got some pressure trying to come out to the outside. Nobody was open. Something's got to give. Right in here, you'll see the linebacker's release. Actually, that was Woody Lowe that released in there, number 51. But he had Todd covered pretty well until Jim showed a run move to the outside.
I tell you, Jim Plunkett surprises you how he buys time in the backfield. He's not a great scrambler, but he knows how to hop around and buy a little time back there.
Near the 14-yard line, first down and 10. The Raiders trailing by 10 points on the move. Plunkett, Branch wide open. Whoa, hammered out of bounds, but he's close to the 7-yard line. Gain of 8. Danny Walters was there defensively.
Boy, an ex-track man catches the ball in his hands like that. You saw Super Duper yesterday make a few of those catches, and you like to see those so-called sprinters, track guys, catch the ball right in their hands instead of up against their bodies. And these are two of the best I've ever seen play the game. Cliff Branch and now this Mark Duper from the Dolphins.
Second down, a long 2. That's the time remaining in the game. Allen, he'll have the first down. It'll be first down, goal to go.
Did you forget my buddy Bobby Hayes?
Well, yeah, Bobby Hayes, he caught that ball real well. I say 2 of the best, not
that's what you
not
said,
the 2 best.
That's right.
Marcus Allen, the Super Bowl MVP from last January, gets the first down for the Raiders. It'll be first down, goal to go.
Speaking about sprinters catching the ball, did you see Ron Brown yesterday?
Yeah. I'm going to bring him up. He has really come on, hasn't he?
He really
LA Rams. Boy, they have a receiver.
15 tough carries, 41 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Over the top.
This time, Allen again over the top. This time they did not wait until 4th down.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Well, it still isn't over, and the way this Charger team is playing on offense, we're going to see some more scores tonight, but isn't it amazing how this Raider team can get in a panic late in the game and do the things then that they have to do to either get back in the game or to win a football game.
They've done it over and over the years. You think back, they won the Super Bowl 3 of the last 8 that have been played. Just demolished Washington last January, 38-9. Here's Chris Barr. Whoops. And Mark Wilson is very unceremoniously tossed to the turf. That is the 4th extra point the Raiders have missed this year. And that could be very important. That has taken them out of field goal range to tie it up. 30-26 San Diego. Conversion, had it been good, would have brought the Raiders to within 3 points of tying the game. Mark Wilson, the backup quarterback, gets a good snap from Dalby. He just dropped the ball. We mentioned at the top of the game that Wilson has replaced David Humm from last year as the holder for Chris Barr. And, of course, the center, Dalby, has had a pulled groin muscle, but nevertheless, the Raiders have failed on 4 conversion attempts thus far this year. That's rather remarkable. Buford McGee, the rookie from Mississippi. And McGee is hammered as he gets out over the 15-yard line. I'll remind you later tonight on Nightline, a look at Pennant Fever sweeping Chicago as the Cubs clinch the divisional championship and head for the playoffs. And boy, they are excited. You see it on Nightline, and on the West Coast, they tune for Call to Glory. 8:10 remaining in the game. Very tough Charger offensive unit tonight. Surprisingly strong on the ground, and when you can run the football, anyone who knows this game will tell you it makes the passing game so much easier. And the defense has to play the run before they think pass. Jackson. Good cutback by Jackson. And a gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Let's take a look at the scoring drive on our animated board. This is a cute little thing we have. There you are. The passes are in black. The run's in red.
Started off with really good field position there, too. Look at almost a little over 50 yards to go. Started by a good kickoff return.
2nd down and 7. Dan Fouts. Gifted passer, but also one of the toughest competitors you'll ever find. Under pressure. Gets it off, is thrown low to Joyner, and he doesn't handle it, and Dan Fouts pays the price. And the wave is moving around the Coliseum. Not one of your better waves, but nevertheless, they're into it.
Well, it's a big one. A huge wave. I bet they have near 70, or a little more than 70,000 people here.
About 16 of 30, 164 yards, and 1 touchdown on the night.
Southern California doing the wave. It's kind of sad for Southern California that it takes 90,000 people to sell out this stadium so the locals can see it on TV.
Yeah, they have well over 70,000, I would judge, just by looking at it. I've looked at it for a lot of years. On 3rd and 7, Fouts.
What a nice throw.
What a great catch. That's Holohan, who has turned into some kind of receiver for the Chargers.
Then he held that ball just as long as he possibly could.
And he's hurting.
He didn't pay a price for it, but that was holding it and let Holohan get his chance to work at it. You can see right now, man, he's getting it from all sides. That ball is right on the money.
Holohan is 6'4", and he used all of it to go up and get it.
You get another angle of Danny. This is that super slow-mo again. From the right side, he's got Rod Martin.
Howie Long.
Howie Long came in through there, and I believe Hayes was also. That was nice. Good concentration.
Near the 45-yard line, the blitz is on by the Raiders on 1st and 10. And Jackson gets another fine run. He is into Raider territory near the 49-yard line, a gain of 7. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3, and Jackson is having a great night.
Their running game plan, truly, isn't that wild?
147 yards.
And you know he's getting them when they're count. He's getting them on some 3rd downs, and he's getting them those big 5 yards on 1st down, and it puts all the advantage to the offense when they can run a throw with less than 5 yards on 2nd down. It's a lot of pressure on the D.
6 minutes, and the clock is moving here at the Coliseum. Raiders trail by 4. Jackson again. He's working tonight. Another big opening, and he cuts back brilliantly to get the 1st down at the 39-yard line. He is showing me something tonight.
May have found something in that defense.
As you can see, they're running. What they found in the defense is that Ted Hendricks is not playing over on this left side of the Raiders defense. Right side, I should say. And they've done a good job of turning the corner, getting upfield, and once again, this Ernest Jackson, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't wait for the block. He anticipates the block, and he gets upfield as fast as he can, and that's all you can ask from a back.
Jackson has carried the ball 29 times. He gets a breather. Buford McGee, the rookie from Mississippi, comes in and gets a draw call on his first play, and he is snapped to the turf, and it's Rod Martin.
Oh, Buford is saying, hey, you weren't blocking this way for Ernest Jackson.
That was one of those rather obvious draws, it looked like to me, and I think the defense picked it up pretty quickly, too.
That was a play they used until Jackson gets his breath.
Yeah, it's amazing how a back can come in, a young back. We've seen it over the years, and I'm partial to running backs, but it's amazing that a good, hard running back, what he'll do for the whole team. He comes in, he runs hard, he gets positive yards, and it tends to psych up the whole team.
There was a loss of 3, a 2nd down 13.
That's one way to look at it.
Watch the Raiders come this time. Bounce. Down he goes. Raiders thinking nothing about run on a 2nd down and 13. They just turned it loose with the blitz. There's Rod Martin right on top of Dan Fouts.
That's why he was in the Pro Bowl last year and been voted the most valuable defensive player on this team 4 out of the last 5 years.
12th round draft pick 8 years ago. Been one of the Raiders' top players for the last 5 years. The loss was all the way back to midfield. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 21.
With a 4-point lead, they're doing a good job of one thing, and they're just taking up a lot of time. A little bit over 4 minutes to go, 4 minutes 15.
The Chargers, new formation, no setbacks. They'll probably line Chandler up as a tailback, but he'll go in motion. Now they're not even going to fool around with it this time. They just come right out there.
I'd keep my eye on number 80 or number 85.
Fouts did not like that. Had they come with the blitz, Fouts knew that he would not have enough men to pick it up. He might not have even got back to set up to get rid of it. So Dan Fouts wisely at this point in the game, with 3:54 remaining and a 4-point lead, uses a timeout.
I think he actually just took the penalty, didn't he? It was just the delay of the game penalty that he took rather than use that timeout, which is, with him, it doesn't make any difference. He's got a long way to go anyway, so I don't think he used the timeout.
No, he didn't. He just deliberately took the penalty. He had 3rd and 21, so now he has 3rd and 26.
Plus 5 yards.
I thought he indicated timeout, but he didn't. So the Chargers have their 3 timeouts remaining. Somehow Fouts got out of that and has to throw it away as Joyner was well covered by Mike Haynes. So it'll be 4th down. The punting unit will come on, and the Raider fans are starting to come to their feet. They're going to get the ball back, 3:47 remaining.
I tell you, they need another 3 points. These two teams, over the last 9 times they played, they've averaged about 58 points a game, almost a point a minute. They're at 56 points now.
Maury Buford. This time Buford connects. Fairly short kick. Greg Pruitt handles it at the 17, taken out of bounds near the 23-yard line.
Get out of the way, Billy.
Okay, listen up. Ready? This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
Hey, Don, I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah.
Most of my mail this week has been about that, and most of the people felt I did a much better job than you've been doing.
You gotta be kidding.
You saw the numbers on Jim Plunkett. The 1 interception was a touchdown interception returned by Woody Lowe. First down and 10, the Raiders at their own 23. Plunkett, wide open Hawkins. And he has a first down out near the 40-yard line. Ken Green defensively there for San Diego, a 15-yard pickup.
Well, as you can see, that's a little guy using size to his advantage. He's only 5'9". He weighs 210 pounds. So if you don't hit him straight on and wrap around him, you're not going to tackle a guy like this. He gets that low. Got to wrap him up.
3:06 remaining in the game. Plunkett back. A lot of time. Marcus Allen.
Good move there.
Good move by Allen. He turned a 2-yard gain into about a 7-yard gain.
The Marcus, I think, is when you look around the league, you see some backs that are incredible on the move. Of course, Kurt Warner is hurt. You think of Billy Sims, you think of Eric Dickerson, but from a standing start, I think Marcus may have the best moves in the game today. He reminds me a lot of Chuck Foreman when he first catches the ball. That first explosive move of his is incredible.
Second down, long 3. They marked it at the 45-yard line. Plunkett. Christensen stays on his feet inside the 40-yard line. Another Raider first down. Lyndon King was there defensively.
They're bad.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing that he's now getting the time to throw? I'm surprised he's not being blitzed.
And I do not believe the Raiders will be able to get another play off before we get the 2-minute warning. The Raiders have 2 timeouts. Todd Christensen. He'll be a factor if the Raiders get back into it. We'll be back in a moment. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Raiders have 2 timeouts. They have a first down and 10. The ball inside the 40-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Jim Plunkett has consulted with Tom Flores over in the sideline. Has a great sense about where he is in a football game. Again, he doesn't have all the grace and beauty of some of the quarterbacks that we've watched over the years, but he does get it done.
Well, he certainly knows when he's behind because that's when he's at his best.
He did it last week against Kansas City. 2 fourth-down plays on a drive that ultimately wound up with the winning field goal in a 22-20 victory. Stepping out of the pocket again.
That's intercepted. Oh, no, not quite.
That intended and at least thrown in the general direction of Barnwell. It was covered very well. Plunkett very careful with it.
I tell you, Woodrow Lowe is really into the game tonight. He was double-teamed by 2 linemen. He broke through them. He had another guy come and pick him up, and he broke through that guy to pressure Plunkett out of the pocket.
The second week in a row, the Plunkett is over 300 yards. Now he'll look over a second down and 10. Cliff Branch up at the top of your screen, the wide receiver. Malcolm Barnwell split to the right. Plunkett, Barnwell stops the clock with a first down inside the 25-yard line. 1:47 remaining.
Once again, I'm amazed at Woodrow Lowe's ability to break through a block by a lineman. He did it once again that time. Unfortunately for him, Plunkett was able to find a receiver and get the ball off.
A nice move by Barnwell that time, working on Gil Byrd. Gave him that kind of a look like he was going to go deep. Throws him just for a minute, broke it off to the outside.
It's amazing how Barnwell in the last 2 weeks have all of a sudden come out of nowhere, and he's a better than average receiver now.
He is a rapidly improving receiver. Has good speed, good moves, fine hands. Marcus Allen, and he'll get 8. Raiders moving closer. They trail by 4, 1:34 remaining in the game.
They're taking their time. They do have timeouts, but I don't know if I'd take my time right now.
I don't think so.
You'd like to complete some balls inbounds and not have to feel you have to call a timeout.
On second down. Plunkett, all the time in the world, and finally dumps it off to Todd Christensen. He'll have another Raider first down.
That's got to be a timeout.
Now, Flores wants the timeout.
Yeah. They had him pretty well covered back there. Christensen was just able to finally pull up. He went all the way across. You'll see Todd Christensen now go across 45 up there. And look at that. He's got plenty of time. They've got them all back there defending. Finally, Todd pulled up. Woody Lowe put the stop on him.
Take a look at Todd as he comes out. As I said, he was a running back, so he knows how to just hang around there, find a little hole. He sees Plunkett's in a little problem. Didn't do much but slide away from the defender. That's all you have to do.
Last week, 9 receptions for Todd Christensen. Tonight he has 7 for 107 yards. Let's pause quickly, 5 seconds, and allow our stations to identify themselves.
WTAE-TV, Channel 4, Pittsburgh.
Just thought of that. Why don't you let's pause slowly for 5 seconds.
Good football game. If you happen to just have joined us, it's been seesawing back and forth. The Raiders in command. They initiated the scoring with a 3-point lead. It's gone back and forth. Both quarterbacks having fine nights. And a big edge going to San Diego because they have found themselves a running back in Ernest Jackson, second-year man out of Texas A&M. And Jim Plunkett has put together his second most productive game of his career with the Raiders with 354 yards. First down and 10. The ball at near the 13-yard line of the Chargers. 1:02 remaining. Plunkett, Christensen out of bounds. He'll have a first down, goal to go.
Yeah.
That was a great throw and a super catch by Christensen.
You bet.
Tough football team, the Raiders, and they seem to get tougher when they get behind.
Let's take a look at him. As you know, Christensen missed the entire preseason. He thought he was worth more money. He'd have a pretty good argument about that tonight. Bingo.
Great concentration, wasn't it?
Well, the Raiders have never lost at home on Monday night. They're 10-0. The way they're going now, they may not lose tonight.
Figure for attendance, 76,000.
All right. Well, I think Marcus will take a couple of airborne, a couple of flights here.
You think so?
I got a feeling.
First down, goal to go.
That's the first one.
Flight 1 aborted at the 1.
There goes the flag.
Oh, not a flag.
Yeah.
Late flag.
Hit him a little bit late there.
Well, I figured it would take 2 of them.
I get a personal foul. I get a personal foul on a late hit, 78.
Doesn't make much difference. Just gives them another down.
So it will remain first down, goal to go. Half the distance to the goal will be the penalty. And now we will see probably flight 2 for Marcus Allen.
I think I can hear it revving up.
Yeah, we're high enough to be air traffic controllers up here. May fool us and quarterback sneak it.
Yeah. All right. See back there, same situation.
They don't want to give Fouts too much time.
Flight 2.
Allen into the end zone.
Yeah, I did it.
Crowd all on their feet. Remarkable comeback for the Raiders. They were down by 10 points here in the fourth quarter.
Just win, baby.
Well, I tell you, the Chargers only need a field goal to tie it up.
Well, right now, they just need a safety.
Well, with the PAT, the way the Raiders been kicking point afters.
Marcus Allen, another big night, a tough night. Chargers showing much stronger defense than I'm sure the Raiders anticipated.
They put the thrill back into the PAT.
Chris Barr, the crowd, is breathlessly awaiting the conversion attempt. But they have put the thrill back in it.
Well, Dan Fouts has 45 seconds to play with.
3 timeouts.
And he doesn't need a touchdown. Well, let's take a look at that. As Marcus lining up in the eye, they lined up up front so nobody could come around, as you can see there. And it's pretty tough to stop when you outweigh the defensive line. And all he goes over the top. You can't defend against that.
That's not bad effects either, Don.
Thank you.
Dan Fouts. And if you ever wanted somebody to be doing it in 45 seconds, you'd want this man. He is cool. He's tough. He'll stand there till somebody gets open.
And I love this one. And he's been there before.
Well, you didn't get that.
No, that's a good one.
That's not
I might point out those 2 black armbands that all the San Diego team is wearing is in tribute to a pair of police officers that many of these players knew in their work in the community around San Diego, who were killed in the line of duty a week ago this past Friday night. Chargers very involved, many of them in community activities, and some of them had actually worked with the two officers who were killed in a shooting incident in San Diego a week ago last Friday night. And they are wearing the black bands in tribute to those officers. Lionel James at the goal line.
They can use a good return. They didn't get it.
They will have 86 yards to go.
39
seconds with 3 timeouts. Let's look at the scoring drive, a tribute to a very tough Raider team.
Started off a couple of passes. Couple of passes, and then some runs.
A couple of leaps.
Couple of passes.
Yeah. And those runs were like passes.
And one little penalty. Don't forget the little penalty right there. Yeah, one little yellow dot.
First down, San Diego. They have their 3 timeouts. 4-man rush by the Raiders. Jackson on the screen. Stays in bounds as long as he can, steps out, kills the clock with 33 seconds, preserving the timeouts.
They found a good back here. Not only is he a good runner, he's a smart runner. He knew exactly what to do. So many young backs would get carried away at a time like that and try to do it all themselves. He got as much as he could and got out of bounds. But
you like this, Jackson?
I like him. I like him. Oh, I like when I see a young back come in and pump his team up like he has.
Second down and 3. The ball at the 21-yard line. Fouts with a pump fake. Now throws into a crowd, and somehow or other, Kellen Winslow caught that ball.
Kellen Winslow.
He is too much.
And the Chargers have called timeout.
He is the best.
That was remarkable. I've seen him do many great things, but he knew he was going to get hammered, and somehow he came down with it. But Fouts also got him into the open area with a little pump fake to him coming off the line of scrimmage. Let's look at it.
I want to look at it again as you look at Rolf Benershka. He's the guy that they're saying, hey, tie this thing up, we'll go into overtime.
They get him close to 50 yards, and he is a threat. That's the longest of his career.
Need a little more time.
Yeah. The Raiders got to worry. Well, as we take a look at the ISO,
I want to see.
You take it.
Well, I just want to see if somebody might have made a mistake and try to intercept the ball back here. I couldn't tell from up here. But Kellen, of course, is going down there. He looks into the side. He's 6'5", and that might have been an interception try. I don't know.
It was McElroy who went up for it.
Yeah.
But Winslow just, it looked like he wasn't even looking at the ball, but he came down with it. First down, San Diego, 46-yard line of the Raiders, and they'll need to pick up perhaps 15 to 17 yards to get Benershka into a realistic field goal, and it would be a field goal attempt that would tie this football game.
I tell you what, though, both teams have to do a little thinking here, because that's going to rule out the possibility of a touchdown here, and the Raiders can't give them the short passes for a field goal, but they still got to watch out for the touchdown.
24 seconds remain. The Chargers have 2 timeouts.
Offsides. Looked like to me.
Fouts gets rid of it. Are they going to say he was in the grass?
Yes.
Yes, they do. And Fouts was in the grasp of the defender at the 49-yard line. There will be a loss of 5 yards.
That makes a big difference here, even though it's only 5 yards. When you're running 15-yard pass patterns and you're trying to get a field goal at this position on the field.
I thought I saw the Raiders offsides that time. Somebody sure got a good start.
Fouts had thought he had called timeout, and he is really incensed. He is hammering away at referee Gene Bart.
Well, you'll see the Raiders argue if they put time back on the clock.
So finally, they get the clock stopped, and now there's only 14 seconds remaining.
That will make a difference, won't it?
Well, you got to be animated. At a time like that, a quarterback, and Fouts has been around long enough to know, you have to be animated. You have to signal it. You have to look at the clock and make sure that that clock is stopped. You can't just throw a casual timeout sign and assume that the official has saw you. And that must have been the case here.
One of the better divisions could be all locked up. In the AFC West, should the Raiders go on to win tonight, they will remain undefeated. San Diego will drop to 2-2, but Denver and Seattle are both there with 3-1 records.
You know, I think maybe Fouts thought it was an incompleted pass and the clock had stopped anyway, and he was arguing that he was not in the grass. That would make more sense. It's been around too long not to make the official be aware if he's trying to call timeout.
14 seconds remaining. Fouts 19 of 35 on the night, 227. One touchdown. Winslow has caught 9 of the 19 completions. 1 second down. Fouts overthrown, almost intercepted. Fouts trying to get it to Joyner. Now 7 seconds.
Well, they got a big problem now. If they do complete the pass, they're going to almost have to complete it out of bounds or touchdown, because the time it takes to set up and throw the 15 or 20 yards they're going to need to put Benerchka in field goal range is going to be at least 7 seconds.
What did he say?
Pardon me?
3rd and long.
No, I think they're saying it's 9 seconds.
They reset the clock at 9 seconds. Fouts picked off. Lester Hayes. This one's history. No flags are down, and the Raiders with a remarkable comeback here in the 4th quarter.
Not remarkable for them.
Arm of Plunkett, the running of Allen, have remained undefeated, along with Miami and San Francisco, the 3 undefeated teams that remain in the National Football League. Lester Hayes with another interception, his 33rd of his very young career. Good football game.
Best one we've seen in a while.
Amen. Raiders will travel to Denver next Sunday, and there's still a rhubarb going on out on the field. I did not see a flag, yet all the players are still on the field.
Oh, I think the coaches are a little upset.
And Gene Barth will clear it up.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the San Diego coach. We're going 15 yards.
Oh, well, there is 1 second remaining.
They've given him 15 yards. Maybe they can assess this penalty the next time they play.
On the coach, he said.
So we'll have one more play. I mentioned the Raiders will be in Denver next Sunday, and San Diego will return home, and they'll meet Detroit. And we'll be in Pittsburgh with the Steelers in Cincinnati.